Rivalries reignited.
Historic heavyweights.
The spiciest of derbies.
New kids on the block.
The best leagues in the land are back.
Tom Hitchcock crashes. Tom Hitchcock goes. Tom Hitchcock scores. Leaving it all out there for the fans.
A steamroller has just charged through.
Dynasty, destiny, drama.
Your Women's National League Cup champions.
Future stars set to shine.
It's been on fire all season.
Champagne rugby? Look no further.
To score one of the most memorable tries. Durham University are BUCS Super Rugby League champions.
But the truth is, in this league, it's anyone's on the day.
And it's full time. It is 6 wins from 6 for Swansea.
Entertainment guaranteed.
BUCS Super Rugby.
Women's National League.
BUCS Rugby is back.
Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to Highfields. BUCS Super Rugby is back at Nottingham, where we kicked off the season. The new boys started like a bat out of hell. Consecutive victories. Since then, they found it tough going without a win in 6, but taking bonus points from some of the best teams in the league. The visitors today, the most successful team in BUCS Super Rugby history, Hartpury University, recapturing some of that form that's taken them to the top time and time again. 3 wins in the last 5 and a bonus point draw against league leaders Loughborough last week, looking to continue that momentum in the East Midlands today. Lots to look forward to. Of course, we're counting down to kick-off. We've got exclusives with Paul Westgate and Dan Murphy, but before that, let's take a look back in time. The last time we were here, it was week 2. Nottingham welcomed Swansea. It was a great day, and here are the best bits.
It is Wednesday, it's our favourite day of the week, and it is BUCS Super Rugby. We're ready to get underway. Nottingham blood through in the gold jerseys, and is this got Smith on to open up the scoring? You betcha. There's the line, there's the reach, and there's the try. Gets into the backs to play with. And well, just desserts for a dominant Nottingham performance.
Well, the man in charge here at Nottingham is Paul Westgate. He joins us now. You absolutely flew out of the blocks in this league. 2 fantastic wins to kick off the season here. But it's not a sprint, it's a marathon. How are you coping with the constant pace of BUCS Super Rugby?
Well, you're absolutely right. We got off to a great start, didn't we? Do you remember those days when it was sunny and hard grounds, which obviously suited our game massively. And it's been a steep learning curve for us, you know, if we're going to be honest. I mean, going away to some of these really established BUCS Super Rugby teams, you know, you don't get a lot. We've been there or thereabouts at half-time in every game, and then found that we've really got to dig deep in the second half. Mistakes can be costly. It seems to us that you've got to do well in your home games. You don't get a lot on the road, but you know, we haven't lost belief in how we play. We haven't lost belief in what we're trying to do, and you know, we worked hard this week. We respect Hartpury and their reputation, and you know, we're looking forward to the game today.
Looking at your team sheet, there's a lot of consistency there, and some players who've started in every round. How much does it help having that really consistent core spine in a team?
Well, it obviously helps an awful lot because we're not really experienced at this level. So, you know, to have those guys, you know, James Cherry at number 8, for example, Connor Moyes on the wing, You know, having those guys, Archie van der Vlier at loosehead prop, sorry, you know, having those guys in the squad is really, really helpful. That settles then new players coming into the squad. You know, we recognise that we don't have a huge performance squad, so we've got to sort of do what we can with our limited resources, if you like. But, you know, again, you know, we haven't stopped believing. We're still going to continue to play rugby. We need perhaps to be a bit more pragmatic. We need to perhaps give some thought as to how we see games out, you know, when we get into those positions. But all I can say is, you know, we're looking forward to today. We picked a strong side, our strongest side, and we're going to give it a go.
Where do you think the challenges come today from Hartpury?
Oh, look, their reputation precedes them, doesn't it? You know, a real rugby academy, a real rugby factory, if you like, you know, feeding players through into international level, the link with Gloucester, etc., having a team in the championship. You know, I mean, we recognise their strengths right across the board there. So they'll be highly organised, they'll be well drilled, they'll be big, you know, and that's probably going to suit them on a ground which is, you know, if I was a horse racing man, will be sort of heavy going, I would suggest. But at the same time, you know, we've already proved that we deserve to be here. We've had some great performances away from home as well as at home. 46-41 to the champions Exeter only 3 weeks ago. You know, 3 tries in the first 12 minutes showed that we can play rugby. We've just got to tighten it up now and perhaps not give visiting sides loads of respect on the pitch. We respect them before the pitch, but when we go out there, we've got to play rugby, we've got to back ourselves and do what we know we can do.
Finally then, talk to us about this group and the club as a whole, because I see Movember is painted on the pitch and that's something that the lads have really got behind. I see that they had a joint social with Cardiff University. It feels like, results aside, you're getting a lot right here at University of Nottingham.
Yeah, we genuinely feel we're close to turning the corner. You know, perhaps we shouldn't be advertising the fact that we've got a joint social with Cardiff. I got told off about that, you know. But, you know, we also recognise that it's important to enjoy your rugby. It's important to enjoy things off the pitch as well. Work hard on the pitch, work hard off the pitch as a group of players. I mean, you know, 4 or 5 of the players today stayed on to do a Masters with us because they really enjoyed the experience last year, and they're certainly contributing and adding value to what we're doing out there. So for us, it's about building camaraderie, building friendship, building a clear identity so we can move forward from this, and hopefully we're not just up and down in 1 year. Hopefully we'll be here next year and we can continue to build on the foundations that these senior experienced players are laying for us.
Well, we're glad you're enjoying it. We're certainly enjoying it too. Good luck today. We are counting down to kick off. Of course, we've already had a look at the last time we were here at Nottingham. Let's take a look now at the last time we were at Hartpury. Hello everybody and welcome to Kingsholm. It's Wednesday, which means it is time for your fix of the best leagues in the land. We've got a double header for you today.
2 heavyweights will be going toe to toe in the worst possible weather. It is wet, it is windy, but that has not dimmed the enthusiasm of the thousands gathered in the stands here behind the camera.
Hartpury versus Cardiff Met. It's going to be a special day.
Absolutely immense from the host. It's out. Scott spins through the tackle. The ball is down.
Met still going. They are there this time. Relentless from Cardiff Met.
Nano Magave is over. The Archers have come to the West Country and they will not leave empty-handed.
This is looking good for the team in red. Through Bertie Taylor. Connor Chapman.
Here is Dale. The try is given. And last year's final hat-trick hero has another.
How the forwards go to work. Wrestling towards the line. Over the line. Great chance here for Met. Looking for the bonus point. And there is Joe Westwood. Oh, he reaches and scores. It's first phase for the 13 again. Goes the open side. This time he's met by Ewan Guy. Matt Hillary gets the try. This side Tuetti. Lovely ball, lovely line. Joe Westwood searching for the try line. Full-time whistle goes. It's Hartpury 25, Cardiff Met 26. And the night belongs to the Kings of Kincoid. Great memories of a great BUCS Super Rugby night. However, you weren't victorious on that occasion, Dan Murphy, but you're in great form. 3 wins, 1 draw in the last 5. It's looking pretty good for the Red Machine.
Yeah, we're moving in the right direction at the moment. It's we had a good break after that Cardiff Met game, bit of a time to reflect and have a look, and since then we've been making steps in the right directions leading into Christmas, which is good.
Loughborough last week, 35-35. Obviously, you want to win every time you go out there, but what an epic game!
Yeah, it was an epic game in the rain, high scoring game, 70 points in torrential weather. Was a really good game, and we had some real good opportunities to win that game, and fair play to Loughborough, they came back as they have done in many games. They've come on from behind to win games, and we managed to battle out and keep them to a draw.
You're travelling really well. What do you put that down to?
Boys like away days. It's as simple as that. It's nothing we're saying or doing. The boys just like being together. It's good fun on the bus. There's cards, there's a bit of music, a bit of chat, a bit of banter. We stop not too far out, little stretch, little walk through, and then heads on, ready to go. It's yeah.
There were lots of interesting challenges in BUCS Super Rugby, but very few new challenges. Nottingham University this year, they are a new challenge. Has there been anything different in the build-up?
No, it's just it's another new challenge, a new team, and we get that with university rugby because the teams change. The nature of the graduation process, teams change all the time. So yeah, the team sheet, the names on the team don't change, but the teams change regularly. So yeah, we can take it and look at it that way, I suppose.
What about this team you've brought up here today then? A lot of consistency, and over the years, particularly when we look at Durham last year, who won the league, consistency seems to be key. Is that what you're building towards?
Yeah, definitely, and results help that as well. You're moving forward in the right directions. Players are playing well, combinations are playing well, so you like to keep it that way. There's a bit of rotation within the squad, but the names, the boys that are in that group, we're in a good place at the moment and building some real momentum going into Christmas. And
a quick word on Nottingham then. They flew out of the gates, those 2 wins here. They're without a win in 6 now, but they've given some of the top teams a really good run. What have been your thoughts on how they've started their first campaign?
They came, like you say, they came out of the blocks. They had 2 great games here, and they score. They're not scared of scoring tries, and that's something we're aware of. We're preparing for, and it should be dry day, a little wet underfoot, but it should be a good scoring game today.
Now, I love having a chat to you always, Dan, no matter where we are, whether it's BUCS Super Rugby or Premier 15s or any of the things we find ourselves at. But can I tell you something I'm a bit disappointed in today?
Go on then.
Your facial growth is fantastic, and you've got a lovely lip hat. Could you not have shaved it in for the occasion?
I did forget. I'm very sorry. Breakfast for the kids this morning took charge. I needed to pour the Frosties before I could shave it in. I'm sorry.
Well, maybe next time we will see it keeping your top lip company. I've certainly embraced it. I don't know if you can see it on the camera because it's very fair hair. However, University of Nottingham have done a great job in backing Movember. So let's find out a little bit more about that great charity.
You know, it got to a point where I kind of shut the world out. I didn't talk to anybody.
It's prostate cancer that's gone all over my skeleton.
And there's too many of us dying. So yeah, enough of it.
All I thought was, to be a man, you had to be strong, you had to be macho.
You need to be a leader in both your voice and your actions.
Boxing reaches some of the communities which are hard to reach. It's about supporting each other through tough times.
1, 2, double jab! AVAB is not just a bike shop, but a place of healing for men.
I feel like the change can come through these programs, and I've seen it change lives.
Things that I could only dream about 5 years ago, even 5 years ago, are now reality in my clinic.
It isn't just going to advance my own work, it's going to advance the work of a number of projects here, and that's ultimately going to lead to the advancement of a number of possible new treatments.
I see this as our standard, and I could not go back, and I would not go back to an old-fashioned clinic-based follow-up for well people.
Ask the right questions. So what are the right questions?
I didn't have to check with anyone. I didn't have to ring the doctor. I didn't have to ring you. It was all there.
You know those guys are keeping an eye on you.
Being exposed to research is really what saved my life.
The COVID crisis has taken place in the stories of our is coming.
What matters is what we do today.
I stand tall.
I stand tall.
Today.
Today.
I stand tall.
I stand tall.
For my people.
For my people.
When you live your life for something that's bigger than you, you'll always be a success.
1, 2, 3, it's mine!
Best version of us.
Best version of us.
For my brother.
For my brother.
For my brother.
For my brother.
Well, Movember, a magnificent charity that this great sport and these great teams have really embraced this year. They've even painted it on the pitch. I'm sure we'll get a little bit more information about exactly how much money they've raised as well. But let's turn our attention to the task at hand. Hartpury, the visitors, University of Nottingham, the home team. And let's take a look at some of the results in BUCS Super Rugby that have led us up to this point so far. Cardiff 31-14 winners over Nottingham last week. Durham beating Exeter. Bath continuing their great form with a bonus point win over Swansea. Hartpury against Loughborough, perhaps the most interesting result, and Cardiff Met beating Leeds Beckett 34-15. That Hartpury result, the first time that Loughborough have conceded a try bonus all season. Hartpury, one of the form teams in the league, of course. 3 wins, 1 draw and 1 loss in the last 5 games after a patchy start to this season's BUCS Super Rugby. Let's see what that means for the table. It is tied at the top, isn't it? Loughborough, Cardiff, Met and Bath all locked on 30 points going into this week. Cardiff just behind them. Hartpury level with Exeter. The race for the top 4 and, of course, the home quarter-final is what they're all aiming for. As for Nottingham, in their debut season, a little bit of breathing space between themselves, Swansea and Leeds Beckett. Remember, the team at the bottom of the league will face the winner of the National North and National South playoff to either keep or win their place in BUCS Super Rugby. Lots of exciting fixtures this week as well. Nottingham hosting Hartpury, that's top of the bill. Leeds Beckett against Durham. Exeter against Bath is an interesting one. Bath, one of the surprise packages this season, and Exeter have mixed it with the best, but they've come unstuck a couple of times, including against Hartpury, who are the visitors today. There's a Welsh derby, Swansea versus Cardiff, and there will be a gap between either Loughborough or Cardiff Met at the top of the table come close of play this evening. Well, let's take a look at the two teams. It's been consistent selections throughout for both of these outfits. University of Nottingham have managed remarkable consistency, in fact, and the only change from last week's trip to the Welsh capital comes in the front row, where Fred Maher comes in at tight head prop in place of Jed Allen. Other than that, the side remains the same. James Cherry captains from number 8, with Furley and Mortimer his able vice-captains, and the eye-catching Max Brown pulling the strings at outside half. On the bench, it's a similar story. Consistency in the front row with Gilbert, Harrogate and Barwood. One change in the backline cover with Jamie Anand returning to the squad. As for Hartpury, couple of changes in the front row as Will Goffey and the Water Tower Chris de Oliveira return to accompany Cam Hollenstein. It's a giant front row, we estimate around 400 kgs. The second row and back row remain the same from Loughborough last week. Gibson and Williams appeared together for the first time this season at 9 and 10, even though both of them have featured pretty heavily for Hartpury. The outside backs, though, 11 to 15, are unchanged. On the bench, Owen Randall's one to watch out for. The replacement scrum half, Winfield and McCarthy, offer plenty of pace. Williams, Harvey and Perry are the bomb squad who will come on to finish the scrummaging. Well, here at BUCS Super Rugby, we always bring you great guests, and it gives us the opportunity to get to know clubs a little bit better. And this week, is no different. Joining us on co-coms today, UON Rugby President Abe Turner. Nervous? Excited? How are you feeling?
Oh, a bit both. Thanks for having me on today. Yeah, no, I think I'm massively excited for this one. It's always a good opportunity for the lads to get a run out of Highfields. Hopefully we'll get a good load of supporters down. A few postponed games down the bottom of the club means that hopefully we'll get some good good support field down. So yeah.
Looking forward to finding out a bit more about the club today, because of course, you're newcomers to BUCS Super Rugby. I think you surprised everyone, apart from yourselves, when you won those first 2 games against 2 really established teams. The club as a whole, not just the first team, must have been really buzzing after that.
Oh, massively. You know, this has been huge for us. This has been a goal for our first team and one of Paul, our head of rugby's goals since he came in, really. The lads have just gone from strength to strength last season. An amazing season, the achievements that they had in first team, winning the Vars and then winning the playoff against Northumbria was absolutely brilliant. And we've been buzzing. The whole club's been absolutely buzzing, and we're just loving watching the lads do what they do best. And yeah, a few upsets along the way, never hurt anyone.
Did you go up to that game, the Northumbria playoff?
I couldn't. No, I couldn't make it up. I wish I was there. I do wish I was there.
I love hearing the memories of people who were involved, either as players or coaches or fans. Of course, you had that fantastic victory, and it was Nottingham Trent who went down before as Swansea overtook them, and the stories are ones that people involved will never forget, because it is such a huge occasion. And this is what it leads to, the opportunity for these players to pit themselves against the very best that university rugby has to offer. And Hartpury, since this BUCS Super era has become a thing, have been the most successful. 3 finals they've won, 3 times they've taken home the trophy, and that's a daunting prospect for anyone.
No, absolutely. I think this is going to be a physical encounter, this one. There's going to be Hartpury look like they've got some real big threats, some big boys in the forwards. So it's going to be really important to chop the lads down, so hopefully just get over the ball quickly and get some quick ball and hopefully play some jouet rugby.
What's the USP for the UON team then? For the people who are tuning in for the first time, what can they look forward to?
Oh, I think there's always an opportunity for some free-flowing rugby. I think that's in our DNA. We love to chuck the ball wide, but I'm hoping that we'll see some more control today. I think that's going to be really important in these conditions. It's not going to be easy underfoot, so if we can play in the right territory, and then hopefully we can release the backs out wide.
Matt Hillary leads Hartpury out, the big South African number 8, serious ball carrier. And behind him, some seriously giant humans. Cam Hollenstein, Will Goffey and Chris de Oliveira in the front row. Hollenstein has been playing some international rugby with Switzerland recently. And that's going to be a real challenge for Archie van der Vlier, Lewis Pickford and Fred Maher in the front row. 2 number 8s captaining the team today. James Cherry, the proud captain of the home team. Henry Mortimer and Max Brown following him out. Max Brown's really caught the eyes early in this season, loves a creative kick, I think it could be said about Max Brown.
Oh, he's a maverick for sure. He's been a key player for us over the last few seasons. He's been part of the club, and definitely hoping to see a bit more of that today, with also some control. He's got an absolute cannon of a boot on him, so hopefully he can use that and his silky skills to get us in the game and hopefully get us over the line.
We're here at Highfields. University of Nottingham against Hartpury. University of Nottingham looking for their first win in 6. Hartpury 3 wins in the last 5. Hartpury in the red, University of Nottingham in the green. We are underway. We love BUCS Super Rugby Wednesdays. And that is a confident take by Caelan Stanton. First touch for him and a first chance for UON to clear their lines with a good exit.
Use it!
Here's Mortimer. In fact, that is a box that he can challenge. They've gone infield and Cherry's underneath it and takes it well. Archie van der Vlier, in fact, they've missed him out. And there is the first boot.
Yeah, touched, happy.
Takes a good bounce. It was touched on the way through.
Okay, take him back, take him back.
And that is Max Brown. You're right, that is a cannon of a boot. 22 to 22, that's gone.
Retreat.
Early kicking battle.
Now. Good, well done.
A few forwards have already got hands on hips and given up as Whitwell has a little look and returns that with interest. Harry Williams underneath it. Some early shuttle runs.
Hold red.
For the forwards. I'm sure they won't be too happy about that.
Hold here, Green. Hold
Starting
13.
with a bit of a kick battle here. Important to keep the backfield covered.
Hold, winger.
Well, when it does eventually go dead, this will be a real win for someone.
Hold, no 13.
In fact, Max Brown thought he might have put that one out, but again, more shuttles for the forwards. Now, is that a challengeable up and under? Brandon Woods after it, he slightly overcooked it. And it's a great chase. Mortimer could have called for a mark there, but instead he's brought down on the far side. Nearly 2 minutes of ball in play. And Fred Maher looks to set the platform. Ellis Hart's there making the tackle. He's in the blue scrum cap.
Important just for some control here. I think Max Brown and Henry Mortimer will be looking to play some phases and then get rid of this.
Well, in fact, there's a little dink in behind. It's into no man's land. And Harry Williams does well, but it's a good chase. Risky kick, but you did say he's a maverick, and now Hartpury can go for the first time. Oh, now there's a gap there for Hillary. He's into the 22, offloads to Harry Gibson. Beautiful offload, beautiful pickup. Hartpury purring.
It's off the boot, it's off the boot.
Some great scramble D there. I think that's Ed Timpson making the vital tackle.
Well, Ed Timpson has probably saved a try there because Hartpury put in the pedal to the metal.
Hold in front, 6.
And now Max Brown, again, he's kept the ball in play. This is lung-busting stuff. And a great take by Williams, who goes for the drop goal. Slices that off the side of the boot. And finally, nearly 3 minutes in, the ball goes dead.
Well, that's it's been a long old phase of play, that, hasn't it? It's just kept on going.
Well, when the kicks were up and down, there were a few forwards there who just decided, no, I've had enough of this. A couple of the big men in the middle.
I'm not surprised, to be honest with you. Lung-busting stuff. Some tired bodies out there, I'm sure.
Oh, challengeable kick.
Oh, good kick.
That's 2 kicks to contest that Nottingham have put up, and twice they've managed to get on the end of it. That time, Cam Furley. Lewis Barrett, we're in 6. He's easy to spot in that pink scrum cap.
Hold on, 50-22 is on.
A lot of variety in Max Brown's kicking, but he's decided to keep it in field, and Brandon Wood puts that into touch, but he just opened the taps there and he looks quick.
Yeah, he does. Looks like he's got some wheels to him. I think he'll be someone that we'll have to watch out on the wing. I think Connor Moyes and Cam Furley are going to have to just watch out for him. But that's a good return, that. Bit shaky initially, but got the ball up on the half.
Okay, Green, let's go then, gents.
So Lewis Pickford in at hooker. He's one of the players in this UON team that has started every round, as has Archie van der Fleer, the loose head alongside him.
In and stationary then, please, Green. In and
Fred
stationary.
Maher, we mentioned him joining them in the front row today. First start of the season, but he spent plenty of time on the bench, so he's no stranger to BUCS Super Rugby. Now Cherry off the top. Here's Brown, options both sides. Oh, that little floated ball. Connor Moyes is well met, but he gets used in the centres quite a lot.
In front 12, say that.
That gets caught up in the feet. The pickup from Brandon Wood. And Whitwell makes a very good tackle, or Wood would have been away. That was Howells in at scrum half. Tight head on tight head.
Hands to ground.
Now Cam Hollenstein.
See Hartpury giving it to the big boys now, trying to get some rumble, trying to get some go forward.
And they are big boys as well. Will Goffey coughs that up, turnover ball. Oh, the ball out of the back and the massive shot. Oh, Will Goffey right in the kidneys of Furley.
Come back. Time is off.
A few of those little touches that you mentioned, though, that jouet rugby they like to play, sometimes is a great way to create some gaps.
No, definitely. I think, you know, that if we keep doing what we're doing, it's going to look good. I think we just need to get a bit more territory, to be honest. I think perhaps wondering whether we should be playing in the half here. Perhaps put it downfield, use the great boot of Max Brown and Henry Mortimer to try and get some field position.
What we are going to have a look at now is the first scrum of the match, and this is a fascinating contest. Spoke to some of the Loughborough coaches at the weekend, and they said that the Hartpury scrum was very, very strong indeed. And of course, being coached by Dan Murphy, 150 games in the Premiership as a front row forward, props on both sides, you've got to expect that, haven't you?
Oh, 100%. I mean, you look at the size there of that that Hartpury front row, and I think it certainly put some alarm bells in some people's ears. But here we go. I'll be interested to see how we go here. Archie's been scrummaging brilliantly all year, and Fred's a great scrummager himself, so hopefully we can put up a good head against these guys.
5 minutes in, 0-0.
Time's on.
A half chance thus far for Hartpury when they burst into the 22.
Come on, gents, let's go.
Other than that, it's been a kicking battle.
Gents.
Very warm welcome to you wherever you're watching around the world as well. Great to have your company. And I say around the world because we do have a global audience. Everyone wants to watch BUCS Super Rugby, and I don't blame them. A little bit of Wednesday afternoon code for you.
Who doesn't? It's an open league this year.
That it is, and some great fixtures too. Really intrigued by Loughborough versus Cardiff Met later on at the top of the table. Hartpury and Cardiff Met had an absolute epic.
Bind!
And UON have already had some statement wins, including Swansea and Leeds Beckett. So in it comes from Mortimer. And good work by Gibson at the back. He disrupts Cherry, but it is still with Nottingham. Right on the edge of their 22, and centres flying in with tackles.
Lost now 12. Let it go, boys. Good.
Bevan Howells called off it.
Use it! Right, good. Thank you.
That's great work from Gibson to disrupt Cherry at the base. Brandon Wood.
Great kick chase there.
Yeah, really good. Cam Furley. And the penalty as a result.
Brilliant work there. I'm not sure who it is over the ball there. Might be Archie van der Fleer. Brilliant kick chase. Great kick from Henry Mortimer. Getting perfect hang time there. Just enough time for our boys to get in play, get in good positions to make the tackle and then win the turnover. Great play.
Interesting, Henry Mortimer is going to kick for touch here as opposed to Max Brown.
I think if he's been doing it well all season, why take it away from him?
Oh, is that knocked on? Touch was missed. And then a brilliant return. Oh, in fact, he was out. He was out of play when he made the initial contact. That's right. But I actually think he might have got away with one there because Brandon Wood knocked that on, didn't he?
A little bit of luck there, perhaps. What I was about to say is, if you've been doing something well all season, then why would you give it to anyone else there?
7-0.
Almost.
It'll come, Abe Turner. Just you wait. First venture into the 22 then for University of Nottingham. Lewis Pickford, first job, find his man. He does. It is Stanton at the back, and they come away with it through Barrett. Vaughan on the crash ball. Slower than they'd like, but now Van der Fleer offloads that to Jackman. 5 metres short here for Nottingham. Best chance of the game so far! And Ed Timpson breaks through and breaks the deadlock.
What a line, what a line. That's brilliant stuff. Round the corner, quick ball. And Ed Timpson with the brilliant line. And then all Morts has to do is pick him out, which he does really well.
Thanks, Will.
So well executed by Nottingham. Speed of play. You said yourself that might be the difference today. Being able to take it to Hartpury. They've done exactly that. One chance, one try. Nottingham 5, Hartpury 0. Ed Timpson, the man on the score sheet.
It's clinical stuff from the boys. Ed's such a dynamic runner. He's always been one of the first picks on the team sheet, and he's shown why there. Brilliant stuff from both Ed and Morts there.
Here is Mortimer to add the extras, which he does. Drills it through the middle. Adds the extras off a well-worked try. UON 7, Hartpury 0. It's an easy game when you play it like that. Let's take a look at the replay then. All started with that really good line-up ball and this brave carry from Freddie Vaughan.
Yeah, great carry from Vaughan. strong carrier at 12, and then Archie with another, and a little silky offload as well. And Jackman straight over, great clear from Pickford, and then a great ball. Look at that, straight through.
That ruck speed was absolutely sensational.
It's been something we've been working on and clearing beyond the ball, just to make it easier for the 9 to get the ball out, and I think we've seen that there. That's exactly what we've just seen. Good carry from Cherry.
Yeah, wrestles Cam Hollenstein and makes a few metres after contact. Now Liam LaRue is called into action. Good. And this is some confident carrying here from Nottingham. Barrett.
Yeah, scrum advantage, thank you.
So that's been lost now, a scrum advantage, but Iestyn Galton kicks it away.
Yeah, it's no advantage, we'll come back to the
So Max Brown gathers, but there'll be no advantage, and we'll go back for the scrum.
How to scout stuff, isn't it?
Cool. It's always interesting doing games like this with someone like you as well, because even though you'll do your best to be neutral, you have got a vested interest. So if the game's closer, I'll expect you to be hopping around, a little bit of nervous energy.
Yeah, I think you might see that later on, we'll see.
The rest of you get ready, guys.
Really interesting game so far.
Here's Mark.
Hartpury shown some glimpses themselves.
Let's go then, gents, let's go hookers.
What I am going to do is dig in my magic bag of tricks here and try and magic you up a pair of gloves, because you've come terribly underdressed. I mean, you look fantastic. There you go, pop them on. You've got your lovely green UON quarter zip on with your club tie underneath. But days like today, you just need to layer up, you know?
First class hospitality.
The scrum, 40 metres from goal, bang in front of the sticks. In it comes from Gibson. Options both ways. The backs drift right.
Use it, Red.
Hartpury being told to use it. Which is an interesting one, because he was told to use it, but now we're going to reset it.
Yeah, well, I think if the scrum was still going forward, but there weren't any infringements, then perhaps that means a reset. To be honest with you, I've got no idea what goes on in the scrum.
And you're a scrum half, right?
I'm a scrum half, yeah.
Again, I don't want to break trade secrets here, but I've worked with some front rowers who aren't entirely sure either. So.
Yeah, well, we'll let the ref do the deciding on these.
He is an experienced referee as well. See him very often in BUCS Super Rugby, Allianz Premier 15s and National League games too. Dan Barwood still down there with his top off as well, so I think they're keeping an eye on Fred Maher. By his top off, I very much mean his warm-up top. He's very much got his playing jersey still on. Again, Hartpury. Get the ball out quickly this time, and then put some width on it, trying to find the edge with Ollie Holiday over there on the left-hand side. Got an advantage to play with here, so Hillary can take it into contact, and Hartpury can have a free go at it. Here's Williams. He's got that ball out of the back, the step off, big hit from Van der Fleer, but well ridden by Galton. Now Edwards Giroud, shot tackle by Kalnan. Oh, the referee's been flattened. Cam Hollenstein has gone straight over.
I think he's I think he's the last person you want to run into, to be honest with you.
Oh, I'm so sorry, I should not laugh at that. Oh, I love BUCS Super Rugby. What a line from big Cam Hollenstein, by the way.
Yeah, what line?
Edge of the white there, please, gents.
That's,
to be fair, he's dusted himself off.
He's all right. Done better than I would.
Gents,
crikey.
Edge of the white's yours, just step up, please, Green.
Amidst all that chaos, Hartpury have kicked for touch, and Will Goffey has got a great chance to get Hartpury back into it. There's Cobbett taking it high, and they go to work with them all.
That looks like quite a good set there from Hartpury forwards.
Well, there are some Hartpury forwards who are making their way towards the try line, but they've got a penalty advantage. And Fred Maher needs to be careful, because he's collapsed them all. If he does that again,
could be dangerous.
Well, he might be going to the bin.
Use the line then, Green.
The maul, both in attack and defence, is something Hartpury have prided themselves on this year. Not conceded many maul tries, so perhaps Nottingham going off the top was a bit of tactical genius. As Cook takes that high, they go to work with the maul again. This looking good for Hartpury. It's messy for Nottingham, but they're adding weight, slowing it down. But are they just delaying the inevitable? They think they're down, but the referee says no, not yet. Setting the platform now, looking to send the big men forward. That's D'Oliveira.
He's the line.
Best chance of the match so far. Barrett's offside, so another penalty.
6 offside.
Constant infringements here, compound penalties. Nottingham living dangerously. Hartpury in the right spot.
Penalties mounting up here. Boys need to try and keep their discipline as best they can. Easier said than done, though.
Of course. Especially when you're defending the line as well. Because any slight infringement...
They haven't asked for this, Tom.
Now, they've gone for the corner again, which is interesting, because I'd have thought Matt Hillary might have fancied a scrum and get in that armchair and let the 7 big lads carry him over. But Will Goffey's darts have been good so far, and they're good again. Dan Cook takes it.
It's another good set.
Edging closer, gathering speed. Hartpury looking to go over for the first time. Will Goffey touches down.
It's good drills from the Hartpury boys, in fairness. 2 dangerous looking line out mauls previously. Lads are gonna just have to hit that real hard. But it's good drills from the Hartpury boys. You can see why they've been so successful in the league. They know what to do. They know what to do in the red zone.
Well, that shows how important the discipline is, because it was a midfield penalty by Hartpury that allowed Nottingham to kick into the 22 and score, and it was a couple of compound penalties from Nottingham that allowed Hartpury to do exactly the same. 16 minutes gone, 7-5, and the kick to level things. Tell you what, for the time of year, the weather absolutely perfect for rugby today. Beautiful blue sky. No rain, no breeze.
It's very flat, isn't it?
To level the match. Nottingham 7, Hartpury 7.
I think the boys will be hoping to get some territory now and some field possession. Try and put the ball deep, I'd expect, and try and keep the Hartpury boys well and truly in their own half. That's where we like to play the rugby.
Yeah, take another look at this. It was once or twice you can get away with, but a third time, so much momentum. Even the back's adding some weight as well, and that is a real armchair ride for Goffey. As Nottingham go contestable on the restart, and it comes back to Freddie Vaughan. Now Calnan gets through. Cover tackle in the end. Josiah Edwards, Giroud is over the ball though. And that is the winger making the jackal, and he'll be talking about that all the way home.
Yeah, it's great work over the ball there, in fairness. Straight in on the ball. Really hard to move him there.
And that is the danger of breaking the tackle, isn't it? Because nobody's there to support you. Contestable kicks have been a thing. Does that run throughout the club, or is it just this first team that really work on it?
Yeah, no, definitely. They're just such a great thing to have in a team's arsenal. They're a brilliant way of potentially winning the ball back, especially in conditions like these. I'm sure the ball's quite dewy, perhaps a bit slippery. It's a really tough one for the winger or the fullback or whoever's in the backfield to gather a high ball like that.
So Goffey finds his man again, off the top to Gibson. It's not clean, and Goffey, in fact, cleans up. Bevan howls. He's driven back, but offloads to Hillary. Hillary, the skipper, manages to make a metre or two. He's got no right to. That's LaRue. God, he's met, though, by Jackman. Big men on big men in midfield. Now Williams. Looking for that 50-22, getting it. What a kick.
Great kick. Great kick. By the barest of margins, it looks like. Yeah.
Red ball.
Looks like the rest called it.
Just sneaking in.
Red ball.
Not seen many of those in BUCS Super Rugby this season, especially on the live stream, but what a weapon, especially when you've got a lineup that functions like this Hartpury one.
Red, let's come in the middle. Red, let's get you in the middle, please. Thank you.
We've talked about the moustaches quite a lot. Something we've not talked about is the mullet on Bevan Howells, the inside centre for Hartpury. Beautiful bit of kit. So that's been overthrown, and in fact, it is Howells who could have taken it, but instead Cam Cobbett drives forward. And Timpson sniffing around, but he's driven away. And now De Oliveira. Gibson back in field. Williams out the back to Howells. Kicks in behind, and Edwards-Giroux gives chase, but that's going to go dead. Covered by Mortimer. Halfway through the first half then, 7-7. Oh, and Henry Mortimer thought he'd seen some space up the tram lines, but drilled it straight out. And this is just a reload for Hartpury.
Yeah, he's on the scrum.
Yeah.
Guys, scrum option taken.
Take 2.
Well, in fact, they're going to reload with a scrum instead.
Mark's here, gents. Gents, my side.
And when you play with a tempo like Nottingham do, sometimes you just got to accept that errors like that happen.
Yeah, no, it's part of the game. It's part of the game. You know, errors are going to come in. But it's just making sure that it's not always helter-skelter. Getting some possession as well, getting some territory. Sorry, it's also key.
Josiah Edwards-Giroux has stayed on the blind side. Everyone else open here for Hartpury. Into the second quarter. And it comes from Gibson. More solid scrum from Nottingham. So it goes to Williams. Howells misses the man out, finds Wood, and now it's out to Holiday on the left-hand side. Whitwell goes across to make the cover tackle.
It's a great covering tackle.
Ellis Hart. Hollenstein knocks that one on. It'll be Nottingham put in inside their own 22.
It's a good D-set there. Great cover defence from Jamie Whitwell on the wing. And then a good tackle in the midfield from Henry Mortimer.
Yeah, Mortimer's found himself in midfield there, and he'll have seen Cam Hollenstein running towards him, and then when it gets knocked on, there'll have been a real sigh of relief.
It's not someone running towards you that you want to see.
Ask the ref.
Yeah, exactly.
Lots to like about this fixture so far. Just one try apiece. It was an early kick-off as well. Exeter kicked off at 1 o'clock. So I'm going to keep an eye on the scores over there. I'm going to do one of those, if you don't want to know, then put your fingers in your ears now. But of course, Exeter and Nottingham, the only teams that kick off in the afternoon. And why is that, Abe?
Guys, water off, please.
Because you haven't got any floodlights, that's why.
Yeah, right, fair enough.
Maybe.
Dummy there.
Maybe next season. Oh, right. This is a big scoreline. If you don't want to know what the score is in Exeter versus Bath, then put your fingers in your ears now. Exeter 27, Bath 10. That is a big score. That's not a full-time result yet, but that is late in the second half, so that is a big one. Bath have been flying. Exeter have been patchy. But when they've got it right, they really have got it right. Went down to King Coyd and beat Cardiff Met. Of course, they've been torn apart by their own success, given how many of their players have represented the Chiefs this year in the Prem Cup and the Premiership. Much more stable scrum from Nottingham. But not a great clearance kick. It's that Vaughan there, just hooking it into touch. But again, just goes to show,
Edge of the white then, please,
if you were a betting man and you put an accumulator on BUCS Super Rugby, you'd be a psychopath.
Just no idea. Week on week, everything's changing. That's the beauty of this league. I mean, coming up into it, it's just you know, everyone's got a chance against everyone on their given day, and that's exactly how you want it. You know, that's exactly how you want to be, a kind of league that you want to be in. Competition is seriously high.
Goffey goes to the back. Get the scrum half in at first receiver, the inside ball to Edwards Giroud. He offloads to Yestin Galton,
let it go, Green.
Who somehow hasn't scored, but Hartpury knocking on the door again. Eventually, Nottingham yield. Hartpury scored. Beautiful first phase move that led to that try. And for the first time this afternoon, Hartpury lead.
Yeah, lovely Hartpury line-out move there. Great inside ball, and then a good offload to top it off. Thought we might have been able to scramble that out, but I think the speed of ball might have been just a bit too much.
Well, it was Nottingham's speed of ball that led to the first try. It was Hartpury's there. Fantastic play. Really exciting try. They lead 7-12. With the kick to come from almost an identical position to where the first one was converted from. It was Goffey, who is now on a hat-trick. Hookers scoring hat-tricks, they're usually from a grand total of about 10 yards, aren't they? But, well, no, because that one was from about a yard as well, just a different kind of yard. So here's Williams to make it 2 from 2. 15 minutes to go until half-time.
It's not doing him a disservice. It's about getting on the end of those ones.
It certainly is. No pictures in the scorebook. Nottingham 7, Hartpury 12. Missed conversion. So the extra's not added. Let's have another look at how well this has worked then. Gibson in at first receiver. And Josiah Edwards Giroud hitting a fantastic line. And that offload as well to Galton. Oh, he must have thought Christmas had come. And there's Goffey on hand, taking it off Hart.
It is, yeah.
And just as we were on the replay there, the restart was taken, and Nottingham are offside at the kickoff. So masters of their own destiny. When you think about inviting or masters of their own downfall, should I say, when you think about inviting the pressure with a couple of bad clearance kicks,
No, not from the kickoff.
Hartpury have been clinical, but they haven't had to earn their field position.
No, I think you're right. In a league like this where it's so competitive, you've got to be on it all the time. The little, you know, it's the battle of the marginal gains and the 1%ers, and they can often punish you. Let's hope Archie and Fred can hold out in this scrum here. We can get on the front foot in defensive set.
Set.
Another opportunity for Hartpury as the scrum starts to move.
Use it, Red. Stop.
Done very well there.
Here's Williams. Galton met by his opposite number, Calnan.
No, never on the ball.
There's LaRue.
Release 5.
That was Timpson, the early try scorer, making a good tackle on him. Galton gets the offload to Wood. Great interlinking play, and Wood eventually dragged down by Cam Furley.
Going advantage. He's gone off his feet. Good effort.
It's good D there. Good scramble. Hartpury with a couple of what I would assume are uncharacteristic handling errors here.
They went backwards straight, then you guys have started to bend. No infringement.
Complaining.
Confirmation of exactly what you were saying before there with the referee, that the scrum's going backwards, but there are no infringements. Just because you're winning meters doesn't mean you're winning penalties.
No, it's great work there from Fred and Archie. You know, under immense pressure from these two Hartpury props, who you know, who look like against most sides they'll have the scrum advantage. So doing really well there just to hold out and to not allow a penalty to go the other way. It then allows the backs to then have their D set and a platform to be built on. No, it's great play. It's great play.
Ouch! Bind! Set!
So when it comes from Mortimer, it's gone down on this near side, and the hook has been missed. I think that's the key, isn't it? Pickford has got to get the hook in early.
Come this way, gents.
Because that's when the pressure comes on.
There's
Who'd be a front rower, eh?
Yeah.
Gents, box here. Box here. There's some grass there.
29 minutes gone. Just a reminder that our clock is not linked in with the referee's watch. It is pretty close.
Both sides, far side.
But just in case it gets to 80 minutes and your team's winning, don't start celebrating just yet, because there might be a cruel twist in the tail, as so often we've seen in BUCS Super Rugby. So Mortimer will be looking for a clean strike from Pickford this time to get the backs moving once more. Oh, they've missed it, and Hartpury have won it against the head. Great chance now. Harry Williams, Howells, thinks about the short ball, but he's dumped down by Vaughan. That's a great tackle, 12 on 12.
Use it.
But a freebie here for Hartpury. That pack 1 to 8, earning them a great field position. They've got to play it down. Bevan Howells clutching his hip on the 22.
Offside. Up the side of the ruck.
Another cheap one given away by Nottingham. Couple of offside penalties.
Time's off. 12's getting treatment. Yeah.
And the time off here, and I'd imagine the messaging for both teams is very different. For Hartpury, it's keep applying the pressure. For Nottingham, it's stop inviting it on themselves.
Yeah, definitely. I think the boys just need to try and rein it in a little bit at times. Perhaps just think about the discipline, and then just play the defensive set. You know, the boys are real physical and can get really up for defensive sets, and I think if they just do that and trust that there'll be someone over the ball, which there probably will be, then we'll get a penalty and we'll get a turnover, I'm sure.
Well, let's have a little bit of a wider chat about what you're doing in the club then, particularly around Movember, because as far as I know, you're the only team who's painted it on the pitch. You've got a pretty sweet one yourself. If anything, I think you could get rid of a few of the chin pubes to really accentuate the great effort. But it's not just the rugby club, is it? It's a whole university sport-wide thing you've done here, and everyone's really got behind it.
Yeah, no, it's a massive initiative. Movember every year within University of Nottingham Sport and also University of Nottingham has always been a big deal. You know, we pride ourselves in the rugby club to be massive with our kind of charity endeavours. Cam Furley, who's our 40, our winger, who's our 11, is our welfare and charity sec in the club, and so he's been doing an absolutely amazing job of making sure that Movember within the club is pushed hard, and he's got a massive hand. You know, you've got to give a massive hand to Cam for the artwork on the pitch. I don't think he did it himself, but he certainly put the pieces together and allowed that to happen. So big hand to him. But yeah, no, I think as a club we've earned about 7.5k.
Wow.
Making us, I think, the second highest earner for Movember within University of Nottingham. So yeah, no, it's always a massive deal for us. You know, it's one of the kind of non-negotiables that we pride ourselves on as a club. Always wanting to do our bit for charity and supporting men's mental health. It's massive. It's hugely important, especially given the current climate. Yeah.
Very, very cool. We're having a change here. Bevan Howells' race is run by the looks of things. Wilf McCarthy is coming on to replace him. McCarthy wearing 21 as opposed to the 23 that he was on the team sheet as. He's one of the lads who's been to Stellenbosch Academy as well, joined this summer, and he is an inside centre by trade, so it is a like-for-like swap between Howells and McCarthy, but we never like to see that, so fingers crossed it's a stinger, and he'll be back fighting fit soon.
It looks quite nasty, that.
What, his mullet, or...?
No, I was more talking the injury, actually.
Okay.
No, I hope he gets well soon there.
And with that, play will restart. First change of the game. Bevan Howells off, Wilf McCarthy on. And Will Goffey on a hat-trick with the ball in his hands. And he finds Liam LaRue, and they go to work quickly. Watch out for Goffey. He's inside the 5, wearing 2, and looking to dot down for the 3rd time in the match. UON looking to take this towards the touchline, so Hartpury back in field, and he's stolen it. It's going to be another line-out, but how on earth has James Cherry got his hands on that ball? Brilliant work from the skipper.
It's a big one. That's going to get the boys real excited. Sometimes things like that, little things like that, yeah, look, he's managed to, don't know how he's managed to rob that, but he's done a hell of a job there.
And got away with it. He's been pushed into touch by Edward Giroud. So Goffey goes again, to the front this time. And Hartpury get the big red machine rolling once more. In goes Galton, in goes Edward Giroud.
It's looking good from Hartpury.
It certainly is. Try number 3. The unstoppable machine, the Hartpury Maul, goes to work once again, and 5 points is the reward. And that is a first half hat-trick for Will Goffey. Unbelievable. Half an hour gone, 3 tries for him, 3 for Hartpury, 17 unanswered points, and they lead 17-7.
Three great scores. 3 pretty familiar scores.
Yeah.
But 3 great scores nonetheless. Tries a try, it doesn't matter how they come. That's what he'll be saying, I'm sure.
Well, they were all team efforts. And you have to credit Hartpury with their response from going 7 points down. They've owned the last 25 minutes or so.
Yeah, the boys need to just try and scrape themselves back into this game.
Harry Williams, 1 from 2 so far. One from 3. Still a 10-point lead, though. 8 or so minutes to go until half-time. Nottingham 7, Hartpury 17. Let's take another look at this. It's a real blow for Cherry, given that he stole the ball, and all that happened was Hartpury got to go again. Look at the backs in there pretending they know what they're doing. In fact, it wasn't Goffey at all. Who got the last touch on that? It was a melee of bodies. We'll find out for you at half-time. But either way, one thing we do know is the score. Nottingham 7, Hartpury 17, and Nottingham have pinched the ball on the restart.
Great restart drills all throughout the game so far. Max Brown putting the ball high.
Ma'a. Crunching hit on him and a great carry by him. Brown thinks about the kick, but instead finds Vaughan. Now there's some width on it, kicking behind by Whitwell, but that's out on the full.
It's good rush defence from Hartpury there, out wide.
Okay.
And Will Gatiss coming on here for Nottingham. So both teams making a change in the back line in the first half.
Green 11, change.
And that's Cameron Furley coming off.
You on the edge.
Not sure Cam's too happy about that.
Okay, time's on.
So he's off. Gatiss on. He's been on the bench for the last 3
Hold
weeks.
in front, Red. Now you're on.
Only 1 start for him this season. That came against Cardiff in round 5. Whitwell. Sent a spiral up. You love to see that.
Now you're on.
But Brandon Wood's going to return it with interest.
On hold 21. Good.
It's good backfield coverage there.
Hold in front, Green. Hold there.
Well, Brown sends it back. That's his opposite number, Harry Williams, underneath it. About 5 minutes to go to half-time.
50-22 is on. Hold there.
Looking for the 50-22 again, but Mortimer's there. It's a bouncing ball, and Mortimer with some good footwork to get him out of trouble.
It's great work from Morse there. Under pressure, he manages to step round the oncoming traffic. Puts the ball out.
But it's another line out to Hartpury. And they've shown that they've got some lovely first phase moves. 5 minutes to go till half-time, confirmed by the referee, who, to be fair, has dusted himself off fantastically after being levelled by Cam Hollenstein. Woof!
Yeah, he's done well.
Big man down the channel. The Hartpury line out. It's been pretty bulletproof in this first half. Don't even lift a man that time.
Go straight. Go straight to the red man.
And that was my curse to the commentator.
Hey. There we go. What, 35 minutes in and we've got one now, don't we?
Oh, I've had a couple of good ones over the years, but don't you worry about that. Don't you worry about that.
There's Mark, gents.
7-17. Since scoring the try, Nottingham have just not had their hands on the ball. Hartpury have partly managed their field position brilliantly and partly been gifted territory by some Nottingham errors.
Hold there now. You're good.
Tries for Goffey, and not Goffey, but we're going to have to see another angle to see who dotted that third one down. There was a melee of bodies in there.
Crouch! Bind! Set!
Oh, another one. Real mess. Real mess. It was hooked back early by Pickford, then bounced off a lock's legs, and Hartpury smelt blood. Yeah, the early hook was in there, but it just clattered against a shin, and then Hartpury just poured over the top. They time that well, don't they? As soon as Pickford lifts his foot and they've got that extra man advantage, poof.
Yeah. It's great drills from Hartpury.
3 minutes to go to half-time. Hartpury sniffing after the bonus point in a familiar position. Goffey makes no mistake this time. He finds Cobbett, and of course they go to the maul and make the easy meters.
No, James, get out! One, come out there, you've just gone back in from the side.
Oh, again, they're just adding numbers, adding bodies. Closing in on the bonus point score. Nottingham defending with everything, but you can only defend that for so long. It's over. Is it down? Yes, it is. That's the bonus point. The Hartpury maul destroying University of Nottingham. They get their fourth try. They extend the lead. This time, it's Ellis Hart who gets up with the ball, and it's Hartpury 22, Nottingham 7.
Yeah, all throughout this first half, they've been utterly clinical down in the corner with that line-out drive. It's almost looking like Nottingham at the moment don't seem to have an answer. Just trying to hit it as low as they can, get their body height low.
Well, they've been penalised for dragging it down, so they don't want to do that again. But that all came from that scrum penalty. If you cannot get parity, then Hartpury will crucify you. They win the penalty in the half. They kick to the 22. They drive over and score. It is not pretty, but boy, oh boy, it's effective. Nottingham 7, Hartpury 22, so even if this, well, whether or not this conversion goes over, it is a 3-score game now, and already a bonus point on the road for Dan Murphy's Hartpury. Great kick this time. Nottingham 7, Hartpury 24.
One.
Take another look at it here. I mean, there are Nottingham defenders desperately in reverse, but there's nothing you can do. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 extra players add their weight. And you've got the real mechanics and technicians in there as well, wrestling for position. And it was Ellis Hart this time in the blue scrum cap who gets it down. And a good exit.
Red on the line.
Great exit drills from Hartpury there.
Red.
Brilliant kick.
Yours, Red.
Brilliant kick.
Let's forget them. Come on. Time's going to be dead anyway, gents.
So this is the last play of the half, confirmed by the referee.
Let's go.
Pickford. Gets his instructions from Fred Maher. Hartpury are going to throw a man up at the front. You can see Hollenstein down there on his haunches already. Cherry off the top. Last chance of the half that Nottingham have kicked away.
Yep, you're all on. Hold in front, hold.
And then Hartpury have kept on as well. What a fascinating end to the half. Little chip over the top from Brown. Can he gather it himself? Not this time. It's back with Hartpury. Bit of broken field here for Nottingham defenders to gobble the man up. Oliveira called up to the blind side. McCarthy.
Tackle release!
Tackled 5 metres from the touchline. And with that, Harry Gibson will take us through to half-time. It was a bright start from Nottingham, who opened the scoring through Ed Timpson. But from then on in, it was all Hartpury. They've dominated everything from field position to penalty count to the scrum to the line-out to the scoreboard. They've already got 4 tries. Can they add a win to the bonus point they've already collected? Half-time here at Highfields. Nottingham 7, Hartpury 24. Abe Turner, your thoughts on the first 40?
Yeah, well, it looked pretty positive first off, didn't it? For the boys in green, the great line from Timpson and the great pick-out pass from Mortimer, putting him over. But it looks like Hartpury have just settled into the game now. They've worked their game plan really well. They've played the field position probably better than Nottingham have. And some really strong forward drives in the on our 5 metre line has put them over.
It's a really easy thing to say, isn't it? But discipline is the key for Nottingham. They've given away too many penalties in too many key areas.
Yeah, no, definitely. I think that'll probably be the key message that Paul will be saying downstairs. Just saying to the boys that, you know, we've got to be squeaky clean here, we've got to be tighter on the discipline, otherwise, you know, more of the same is going to happen. I think, to be honest, we haven't had much of the opportunity to show our game that much. We haven't had much of the ball in their half, and we haven't really had the opportunity to fling the ball out wide and to release our strike runners. Hopefully we'll see more of that in the second half.
Well, let's take a look at some of the best bits of the first half then, because there are 5 tries for us to make our way through. The first of them went to the University of Nottingham. Let's see if we can work out who actually grounded the third one as well. But this, well, you said it yourself, this is what Nottingham are all about.
Yeah, no, exactly. Great strike run from Vorney there, and another one here from Archie with a lovely little offload to Jackman. And then just the work rate round the corner, really quick ball. Pretty difficult to defend that.
It's a lovely seed, isn't it? Timpson running onto it, but Mortimer flashed it across the face. And that seemed to really kick Hartpury into life. They know what they're good at, and they've executed it really well. That was converted for 7-0. That was after 8 minutes of the match. And this is where it began for Hartpury. It was a great response. They'd been building pressure. This was after about 15 minutes. Dan Cook gathering it. And then Will Goffey there. All he had to do was stay on his feet, really. He was pushed over the line. And that was the perfect way to respond. You can see Bevan Howells in there wearing number 12. He was replaced by Wilf McCarthy a little bit later in the half. But yes, all of the big men, all of the piano pushers, very much going to work. And then it was the same again, but with a slightly different tune. Some lovely work from the backs there. Yestin Galton, I can't believe he didn't score. I also can't believe Hart didn't score here, but Will Goffey was on hand, following up the accurate throw at the line out to get the second touchdown. It's all come from the set piece. This was the third one after James Cherry, the previous line out, had made a brilliant rip. Now, who's got their hands on the ball here? It's in the middle there somewhere, isn't it? It's a real mud bath. It's going to be one of life's mysteries, I'm afraid. I'll ask somebody. I'll ask somebody when the mics are dead.
One of the Hartpury boys.
And this was the bonus point try. And watch out for the blue scrum cap when they get back up. That was Ellis Hart. He's been really industrious throughout this half. But again, big men, little men, medium-sized men, everybody's in there for Hartpury. Nottingham holding it for as long as they can. But Ellis Hart, you can see his blue scrum cap sticking out there. He dotted the ball down. That was the bonus point. And that takes us to where we are now, which is University of Nottingham 7, Hartpury 24. Now, we've talked about what a great facility it is here at Highfields, and it's not just the rugby that they host. In fact, it's not just UON events that they host. They have been the brilliant hosts of BUCS Big Wednesday for the last couple of years. It's a massive celebration of top-level university sport, and we're looking forward to it again a little bit later on this year. Let's take a look at this to whet the appetite.
Loved you from the first time you called me lame. Loved you for your whips and your weekend games. Yeah. Always on my mind, always in my brain. Yeah. With you the summer came and went in a day. And I've been craving you since the first time that I sat by your side. And I've been on my knees thinking time is gonna fix me inside. No, nothing's gonna make me forget. And I don't think I want to forget anyway, yeah, yeah. No, nothing's gonna make me forget. Yeah, I don't think I want to forget anyway, yeah, yeah. Always in my brain. With you the days are long and the nights are late. And I've been craving you since the first time that I sat by your side. Ooh, and I've been on my knees thinking time is gonna fix me inside. No, nothing's gonna make me forget. And I don't think I want to forget anyway, yeah, yeah. No, nothing's gonna make me forget. And I don't think I want to forget anyway, yeah, yeah. Forget anyway, yeah, yeah. No, nothing's gonna make me forget. Yeah, I don't think I want to forget anyway, yeah, yeah.
BUCS Big Wednesday and lots of UON sport involvement there. I mean, it was massive for you as a rugby club. Was that where you won the Vars last year?
Yeah, no, it was. Just behind us, we made our second team pitch into a big kind of proper first team pitch. Awesome occasion, really awesome occasion. We had some other, loads of other teams down, and all the other sports going on in the hockey facility next door, and we had it all over David Ross Sports Village, which is on campus. It was an awesome day. Yeah.
The David Ross Sports Village is absolutely mad, isn't it?
Yeah, it's pretty insane. It's some multi-million pound complex. It's got everything you need, I can tell you that for free.
Well, let's take a look at some of, the one other score that's going on at the moment. Again, if you don't want to know what the score between Exeter and Bath is, then block your ears now and block them for like the next minute, because we're going to want to talk about this, because Exeter have beaten Bath 44-17.
Blimey.
That's a real statement. So Exeter have been up and down. Bath have been pretty consistent. Bath beat Loughborough recently. Bath have really put it on a few teams. They're a lot more confident than they have been throughout. As we've said, Exeter have been shorn of the likes of Dan John and players like that who've been called up into the Premiership. David Jenkins, who captained Exeter Chiefs in week 1 when they lost to Hartpury. They had 9 lads involved in the Prem Cup, so we know they're going to be strong. But 44-17 against Bath, that is a big score.
That's a huge statement, massive statement from the boys in green from down south. It's felt like their season's been waiting to really push on. So perhaps that that score's the kind of catalyst to really kickstart their season now. I mean, Bath when they came up here looked really strong. They had a very, very strong forward pack. They were very disciplined, and they also had a really nippy set of backs as well to make the most of the stuff out wide as well. So perhaps that will be a turning point for Exeter, or not a turning point, but perhaps that will be an opportunity for them to push on. But do not do Bath down. They're a class
very
outfit
good
too.
side. Very good side, and one swan doth not a summer make. Is that the saying? Have I got that right? So Swansea versus Cardiff, that kicks off at St Helens at 6:30. Loughborough versus Cardiff Met is at 7. Nottingham and Hartpury, of course. Exeter and Bath we've talked about. What about Leeds Beckett versus Durham? Let's check in there. 2 teams who, I'm going to call them out for this, are notoriously bad at updating their social media. So hopefully they have got the updated score. Oh, they have. It's a good game. Again, if you don't want to know the result, you don't want to know the latest score, then turn the volume down for the next minute or so. It's at the same part of this, the same point as this game. In fact, they're a bit ahead. They've kicked off in the second half. Durham 24, Beckett 17. Good game.
It's a tight one. It's a tight one.
It is a tight one. Again, well, you've already beaten Leeds Beckett this season. We know what they offer. They are tough operators. They've had a hard time against some teams, but I think being able to go toe-to-toe with a team like that really stood your team in good stead at the start of the season.
100%. I think the amount of confidence that the boys got from those first 2 games just really was kind of invaluable. I think it allowed the lads to believe that this league is where we're supposed to be and where we belong, and long will we continue to try and show that.
Well, Nottingham are chasing the game. Hartpury out of the sheds first. 4 tries in the first half. Still just the 1 change with McCarthy on for Bevan Howells. Here come Nottingham, led out by James Cherry, who's making sure that he acknowledges every player before they start the second half. He's really put his hand up as a leader of this team in this top division. And just like Hartpury, 1 change in the back line for Nottingham. That's where Will Gatiss came on late in the first half for Cam Furley.
Can you hear me, Don?
And Nottingham will get us underway in the second half. Let's roll out some commentary cliches then. First score, absolutely massive.
Yeah, huge. I think considering the scorecard at the moment, I think it's pretty obvious that first score is vital.
Max Brown goes deep. Yestin Galton gathers it, steadies himself, and then a squiffy left boot takes the ball to touch.
This is the opportunity here now. Hopefully some really strong drills here. Hopefully get some game line ball and some go forward. It's just what we need at the start of this half.
Well, Lewis Barrett's out there in midfield. He's pretty hard to miss in that pink scrum cap and those pretty bright boots. Not exactly inconspicuous, so shortened numbers here. Nottingham go to the front, Hartpury pinch it, and Pickford has to make a tackle on Gibson. Not the start they wanted. LaRue picks and drives.
Okay, time you
and
on
then Gibson.
Interesting. Gibson sneakily keeps on popping into the discussion between Pickford and Fred before each line out. Perhaps he's
translating.
Perhaps he's translating to the big boys up front.
Speaking of big boys, that's Connor Moyse, the right winger, often comes in looking for work. Lewis Barrett. He's met by Dan Cook. Really enjoyed the second rowers going at each other in open play in this game. Lovely inside ball from Ma'a. Great to see the forwards getting hands on it. They miss out Cherry, and Vaughan steps in at first receiver. Calnan tries to go around the outside. That's Gaitus. Not quite the opportunity to open the taps, but he does take Nottingham inside the 10. Cherry gets round the first man. Goffey tackles him. Brown. Decent hands from Nottingham, but they run out of steam. Got a penalty advantage, though.
21, late hit, didn't need it.
It's much better from Nottingham. Stringing some phases together, finding the space on the outside there. Great
21,
ball from Cormac to Gaitus. Now with the penalty.
It's got to go to the corner, isn't it? 3 points,
I think
no
so.
good.
I think so.
Well, the home team not had many chances like this, and that is a really good kick.
Yeah, great kick from Morse. There we go. What I said in the first half. Perhaps you keep giving it to the kicker who's been doing it all season.
Now, Hartpury have not conceded a maul try since they played Cardiff Met at Kingsholm, and before that, hadn't conceded one for 3 weeks.
2 and 2.
Again, Barrett stays out. Well, that's overthrown, and Van der Fleer knocks it on, and Edwards-Giroux kicks away the advantage. But that's a good kick from Josiah Edwards-Giroux to turn Connor Moyse.
It's a great chase as well.
Well, it's the second rower, Dan Cook, who's the first man there. He gets bumped off by Moyse.
Use it.
That's 2 failed line-outs for Nottingham in the second half. That'll be a frustrating one, as Gibson puts in a good nudge.
Hold in front, Green, stay there.
Harry Williams.
Now you want. Hold in
Puts
front,
a good boot on that, and Whitwell's got some work to do. It's a good kick, but if it's bounced the other way, we're looking at 50-22 territory.
Spotting the space in the backfield there and drilling it low. I think allowing it not to be up in the air for too long, meaning that it's going to roll along the floor and go out just before the 22.
He's having a good game, Harry Williams. He's an interesting one. So he did his undergrad at Hartpury and then wanted to do a PGCE, and it's not something they offer at Hartpury. So he went to Cardiff Met so he could try and play BUCS Super Rugby. Then realised that because of the work he had to do, wasn't able to play rugby for Cardiff Met. But now he's back doing a Masters at Hartpury and really enjoying his BSR. It's another messy line out, but it's come back Hartpury's way. Edwards-Giroux into the 22. Really positive carry from him. Gibson. D'Oliveira offers himself. He gets chopped down low. Green bodies swarming around him. Now out the back to Williams. Chip over the top, and Holiday chases. Great kick. Touchdown! Holiday! Oh, he's not dotted it down. That could have been fantastic. Desperately close to a try of the week.
That would have been naughty.
In fact, sorry, 22.
Another look at this. Where's the ball eventually got down? It's a lovely nudge and a really good chase. Oh, he wasn't far off, was he?
Just. Must have been tight.
So the 22 dropout. Scrappy.
Unorthodox, yeah.
McCarthy. He thinks he's seen space. Oh, he's been leathered.
Right,
that'll be a yellow card.
Step straight across. Dangerous.
5 minutes to the second half. Nottingham down to 14.
Yellow there for Caelan Stanton, I think. Just called for stepping across, I think.
Well, it was a fairly robust contact. And now defending a line-out inside your own 22 without one of your line-out disruptors. This is a big ask for the home team and a big opportunity for the visitors.
This is massive here. This is a really, really huge defensive set that the boys are going to have to get up for.
found Cook. Oh, they're pouring forward.
That's nice. Great defence. Great defence. Stepping away.
It's a brave call.
It is. It is.
But a brilliant call.
Got to say, it's probably the right call. Kalen, going to be one of the key men in the defensive line-out mauls. So perhaps deciding not to even engage in that was the right call there.
It was a really fashionable thing to do a few seasons ago. You don't see it a lot now, do you?
No, you don't.
But it's worked that time, and now the exit for Nottingham imperative.
So important, this. Just get the ball in and out.
Scrum time has very much belonged to Hartpury. Nottingham have had parity a couple of times. But Hartpury have won one against the head, had a penalty against the head. And straight away putting the squeeze on, but that's good from Nottingham. Oh, a chip into space. Could this be kamikaze? Here's Iestyn Galton. Oh, he's met by Vaughan. Rides the challenge though, Galton. Does well physically. Williams. That's Brandon Woods. Got himself a one-on-one. Puts the toe on it. Oh, he's got the right side as well. Sensational from Brandon Wood.
What a try. What a try. That's outrageous skill, that.
Jamie Whitwell thought that he'd faced him up. Brandon Wood had other ideas. Well, it's been bump and grunt from Hartpury, but there's Brandon Wood showing a little bit of finesse as well. Classy operator, well executed, great try. Hartpury extend the lead.
Fair play to him there. That's a seriously tough skill to pull off, especially going at full speed down the wing there. He just delicately pops it on the toe, straight over the top, and regathers and dots it over. Great score from Hartpury.
Well, he planted that seed of doubt, didn't he? Is he going to go inside? Is he going to go outside? Jamie Whitwell squared him up. Extras are added, no surprise there. Back in front of the sticks, 31-7. 48 minutes gone. Remember, Nottingham down a man. We asked if the Max Brown kick was kamikaze. I think the answer is yes.
Yeah, probably in hindsight perhaps should have just set up there and then gone long.
Take another look at this though.
Great
we can
pass.
Replay this all day. Lovely seed from Williams, and that kick as well. Just a turn of pace.
Yeah.
Pickford chased well, Whitwell chased well, but sometimes a good kick deserves a good bounce, and Brandon Wood got that then. Lovely score from Wood. And now it's a big old hill to climb for University of Nottingham. Still down to 14. Thinking about a few subs. One of them, Ollie Gilbert. Well, in fact, we're just waiting for a ball. Need one of those for a game of rugby, don't you?
Thumbs up.
Yeah.
Again, Nottingham go deep. Again, Galton's underneath it this time. Gives it to Wood to clear. Keeps that in field, and Whitwell rips that pass inside. Brown tries to pirouette through Wood, who's chased the kick well.
Tackle, knee to ground, release, right. Release.
Out the back they go. Pickford.
It's a great clear out there.
And a good carry. D'Oliveira making the tackle. Leroux over the top of it. Chris D'Oliveira. Mortimer has gone quickly. Wants an offload. Doesn't get one, but Timpson's there. Nottingham up to the 22. Great work from Mortimer to release and go and win a penalty advantage. And Ellis Hart, 2 tries. We actually found out that try number 3 was scored by him. Doesn't roll. Now, Nottingham, they're going to have to go for the corner again, but this time the line out is going to have to deliver.
Yeah, definitely. It's going to have to go to hand this line out. Going to have to get a good set. But great work from Henry Mortimer there. Just keeping the pace of the game strong. If you keep the pace high, then defence are always on the back foot. And regardless of being a man down, still going forward, which is what we need here now.
Yeah, he had no right to make that many metres, did he, Henry Mortimer? Great work from the 9. And now it's time for the set piece to go to work.
Let's go then, Green. You've got to be in, please.
Hartpury has worked beautifully. Nottingham's not really fired in the second half. And they go all the way to the back, and Cherry.
Great set.
Funny advantage.
Penalty advantage, here we go. Cherry dropped that, but Hartpury.
7 second
Hartpury
early.
through illegally, I think.
Infringing. Ellis Hart, 2 penalties in a row for him. What a ball to Vaughan. He gets scragged down, but that's a lovely line. Cherry scores. Great response from Nottingham. Again, beautiful delivery for a back rower to explode onto, and Cherry gets Nottingham's second score.
It's a brilliant line there. 2 awesome lines. One from Vaughan, our centre, and one from Cherry at the end to finish it off. That's a real statement that, you know, it's tough over here, you know, 14 men against a really, really tough and physical Hartpury pack. To be putting them on the back foot like that, that's seriously good play from the lads.
Again, pace is the point of difference as those extras are added. 14-29.
Great
Full
dart
red,
from Lewis there.
Red, 1, 2, 3, change.
Here we go.
Time's off.
Here comes Gilbert.
Just have another look at this again. Firstly, that line, it was a great cover tackle by McCarthy. But these passes across the face, missing out 1, 2 men from Mortimer. Gorgeous balls. And we've had one off the right hand and one off the left hand in this game too.
Yeah.
Yes, please. Yeah. Time's on.
It's the variation, you know. Strike runners. It's really good play.
So a few changes then for Hartpury. Hollenstein, Goffey, D'Oliveira off. Casey, Harvey, Perry on.
Yeah, Williams, place you on.
Better clearance kick this time, but then Hillary goes quickly and finds Brandon Wood. He's chipped to space again. He's going to get on it again. Brandon Wood. Oh, he's got a golden toe, that boy.
Steady.
That's George Perry, replacement tight head. With his first carry, he'll get a taste for it. Great game to come into with a pack on the front foot. Galton. Cobbett in the channel, the back rower.
Tackle from Conor Moyes there.
That's a good tackle on Harvey as well. And Nottingham turn the ball over.
Great work, Ed Timpson on the floor there. Straight over the ball. He does that so well.
About 3 minutes.
I think that's 3 minutes on the yellow card.
We've had 2 cracking tries since Nottingham have been down to 14. One for Hartpury and one for the hosts. Oh, has he missed touch? Yes, he has.
Start inside, me.
Oh no.
God, that is the latest flag I think I've ever seen. We were nearly 2 phases gone. Goodness me.
Just checking it was the right call. In biased fashion, it was definitely the right call.
So we've had that front row change for Nottingham as well. Gilbert on, Pickford off. Gilbert made his BSR debut last week. Yet to have a start for UON, but looking to make that 16 jersey his own to begin with. Because Lewis Pickford, he's been a massive part of this early BUCS Super Rugby journey for Nottingham, hasn't he?
He's been a massive player for us. He's been really reliable. Great in defence.
Oh, that's been picked and pinched, and Dan Cook has read it like a book.
And Fred Marr there. Straight over the ball again.
Tight heads making jackals,
yeah.
It's all going off.
Steady, steady, steady. He can't get up and easy.
Great work from Fred. Freshman in the team this year. Come through the Gloucester Academy. It's been brilliant for us. Another great kick.
Another good touch finder. Here we go. Some more players warming up for Nottingham as well. Connor O'Byrne down there.
Not a penalty time, Matt. We said not a penalty time.
He's a fresh-faced youngster, isn't he? Connor, wowee.
Another freshman. Again, been a great asset for us.
Cherry at the back.
Good darts.
No!
Barrett in there. The maul goes to work, and Gilbert gets his hands on it. And then out it comes to Mortimer.
Forwards.
Oh, forward pass. Little mistake there, but interestingly, we talked about discipline. The mistakes, other than, of course, the yellow card, been a little bit fewer.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Perfect.
I think they've definitely cleaned up their act a little bit this second half. It's been a lot less loose and a lot more controlled.
Okay,
we've been playing rugby in the right areas for the most
Let's go
part.
then. When you're ready, let's go, Red. Let's get ready.
It's been a lot better from an unruck perspective.
It'll be our next stoppage.
First scrum of the second half with this new front row for Hartpury then. Williams in at hooker, Harvey on the loose head, Perry on the tight head.
No, it's not done yet. Next stoppage, that's what I'm saying. It's not done yet. Let's go.
Looks like we got James Cherry stepping in second row
time wasn't up.
for Kalen.
In a scrum that's going backwards, the last thing you want is to be a man down.
I think, luckily, touch wood, we haven't had too many scrums during this yellow card period. Makes Archie and Fred's life even more difficult, but it looks like they've done a good job there.
Yeah, they have, and Wood's going to put boot to ball. Good kick from him, but Whitwell's underneath it. Whitwell saying exactly where he's going to put it. And he's going to put it skyward.
Green 3, go! 14's fine.
Dan Cook gathers it. He's had a good game, Dan Cook, the Hartpury lock.
Yeah, he's been solid.
Found himself in places where locks don't usually belong either. Casey Williams, you know, when you think about the kick chase and gathering the ball there in midfield.
Hartpury's kick chase has been really good today.
Hold in front,
Williams.
17.
That's Max Brown.
Working very hard for each other there.
Now Brown's going to have to chase his own kick here. The up and under, the tactic for Nottingham. Oh, he does
another good kick.
Well on the chase. And Williams does well on the gather. It's McCarthy with the dab in behind.
Hold
Gatiss.
Good.
Gibson.
Hold Red. No, good, yeah, thank you.
Now Whitwell. Has a think about running it. He's got some pace outside him and then dots it in behind for Moyes to chase. Oh, run into touch by Williams. Great kick. I think he could have let that go, you know. Connor Moyes looks a handful.
Yeah, he's a great player. He's really quick, very elusive on the wing, often deceivingly quick and deceivingly strong as well.
Matt, they're back up to 15.
He's been scoring tries for fun this season, to be fair.
Yeah, top scorer a few, isn't he? 5 tries this season. Now, Nottingham back up to 15, but Stanton hasn't come back on. He's been replaced by O'Byrne, so that's going to be a like-for-like change in the engine room. Cherry is turning out to be the line-out target of choice, and that's Mortimer in at first receiver. Now Brown.
Yeah, it's fine, it's touched by
Dabs that up the middle, touched by Red on, then coughed up! What a mistake from Hartpury. Nottingham on the front foot, looking for try number 3.
Stay on side
now Mortimer for another of those passes across the face. Fred Marr gets it down. It is another special delivery from Henry Mortimer, and Fred Marr closes the gap. There's an hour gone, and it's game on at Highfields.
Thank you, Don. That's great.
Here we go. The boys are back. The boys are back.
Yeah.
It's another one, isn't it? That's 3 tries there today from Henry Mortimer, passing across the face. They're so hard to defend. You're looking at the ball, and then suddenly the ball's gone past you to a big, heavy runner. Great work from Nottingham to get back here. Game on.
And he adds the extras as well. 21-90, sorry, 21-29, should I say. We got a game on our hands. At some point this season, somebody's going to make a read and intercept one of those and go the length of the pitch, but until they do...
Hopefully not today.
Oh, we've just received note from the referee. He's got 33-21, so has he seen a couple of conversions that we haven't?
Perhaps.
Either way, okay, let's make a note of that. 33-21. We've been going on the flags of the assistants, alas. That gives Hartpury a little bit more breathing space than they like. So to the best of our knowledge, because that's what the referee said, 33-21. But Nottingham's wheels really turning.
Here we go, supporters are starting to get into it now.
Yeah, there's a good group down here. You can't necessarily see them because they're all below where the camera position is. But they're decked out in that UON green and gold. Really getting behind the team. There's been a change for Hartpury. Harry Gibson has come off. He's replaced by Owen Randall, who's wearing 23. Spent a bit of time in North Wales with RGC, Rugby Gogledd Cymru.
Inside shoulder out, please. Thank you.
Good story as well, and just shows about the way players can move up, because he started in Hartpury 6th.
Yeah. Well, we've got that Lewis Pickford, our starting hooker, started in first year in the 5s.
Nice.
And here he is now. Equally, Charlie Jackman's played caps lower down the club. So, you know, that's it's brilliant when you can have clubs that have that kind of developmental programme whereby players can be constantly getting better. Glass ceiling, as Paul always likes to call it.
Great to see players making progress and enjoying their rugby as Nottingham go quickly. Oh, lovely inside ball. Moyes looking for that offload that just evaded him, but made a good decision to hold on.
Taken back.
Brown.
22, taken back into his own half.
Where's this going to bounce?
Hold the mark, please, Will.
Randall's going to chase it. I don't think he's going to dot it down either. He's going to show some good feet, but is he going to run himself in or out of trouble? Out for now.
Use it.
Into the last quarter. Oh, Nottingham thought they'd got the jackal. There were about 1,000 people celebrating it.
6, stopping the players coming in.
Everyone for all money thought that was a turnover.
Stop the clear out.
20 minutes left, plenty of time.
This game's a lot of fun, you know. Ah, great kick.
Good kick.
So just to confirm, we've got the score down as Nottingham 21, Hartpury 29. Based on some missed conversions, but the referee has said 21-33. So at some point, I hope there's a break in play where we can confirm that. All we do know is that Hartpury lead the game and that Nottingham are 1 try away from a try bonus. So that's the state of play so far.
Stay bound, 4, stay bound.
As Hartpury look to march forward through the maul once again, something they've done really well in this game. Cherry's on the ball again. Cherry's pinched this. If it goes to ground, it's Nottingham ball. James Cherry doing the Lord's work, spoiling the maul once more.
He certainly put his head. He certainly puts his head where the light doesn't shine. I'll tell you that for sure.
Yeah, there've been a couple of occasions where he's managed to pop up with the ball. There's a renewed energy in this Nottingham team.
In we come then, Red. Out! Bind! Set! Thank you, Knight.
Here come Nottingham inside their own half. Vaughan floats that one out to Gaitus. Gets past the first man, doesn't want to get isolated. Nottingham back into the Hartpury half. There's Cherry. Another carry from him, where he makes another metre crawling forward. Some good feet here. Moyes, they use him so well, hitting those lines. Now Brown spins that to Kalman. Maher on the edge. Oh, Fred Maher! Little goose step from the tight head. Eventually he's brought down. Williams acts as a speed bump, but Nottingham pouring forward. Gilbert into the 22. Brown thinks about the dummy. Ball's gone backwards and Cherry picks it up. Can barely make out the number on his shirt because he spent so much time in the mud.
Use it.
Oh, this is a great game. Jackman.
Great carry from Jackman.
Penalty advantage.
On the front foot.
And a penalty advantage. Free go at it here.
Let's have a shot.
What odds?
Time's off. Steady.
Here we go.
Getting a bit tasty now.
Well, the penalty went to Nottingham.
17 penalties here, and that's cynical as well. You float down on purpose, off you go.
17.
So Harvey
17,
Tyler.
not rolling, slowing the ball on purpose.
Sorry, Tyler Harvey, 2 first names, never trust him. Tyler Harvey is sent to the bin. I had a fright there because the referee put his arm up for a Nottingham penalty, but then put his arm up the other way. I thought something had happened to reverse it, but
yes.
65 minutes gone. Harvey sent to the bin. Penalty Nottingham.
What's that?
Prop to the bin. Perhaps go for a scrum. Go for the points.
The way the scrum has gone today, you'd be a brave man.
True, true.
You got 15 to go, just under. Don't pull the 9 in, right? You'll get yourself in trouble with that. 33-21.
Again, 33-21. He's sticking with it. So let's get that changed on the scoreboard. No confusion about that. 33-21.
Good. 3, you good? Let's go then, Green.
At 33-21, I am fascinated by the choice to go for 3 here. I suppose you think, get the points on the board, scoreboard ticking over.
I'm not sure he is.
Oh, no, he's not. Okay.
He's going for corner.
(33-21).
Yeah, set them on. Time's off. Yeah.
So Cam Hollenstein is returning.
Yeah.
And he is going to temporarily replace Ollie Holiday.
You're perfect. 3, right up you come. You're a long way away, guys. Stop there, You're good there. Time's on. Let's go, please, guys.
15 minutes to go. Hartpury are going to be down to 14 for 10 of them. And Cherry again is the line-out target. There's the maul. There's Barrett with the ball at the back of it. Gilbert takes over. Those taped-up ears.
5, side entry.
Penalty advantage. Here we go. Nottingham looking for the bonus point with a free shot at it. Driven forward again. Mortimer is pushed aside by Lewis Pickford, who's still out there.
Hold that.
Now Mortimer. Another flat pass, another great line,
held up,
and a brilliant tackle to deny Cormac Calnan.
Great tackle, but another line, another brilliant line.
Henry Mortimer's delivery is absolute filth. He's got gorgeous hands.
He's got brilliant service.
Red, discipline in this area, please.
Spoke to Dan Murphy before the game, and he said Nottingham will score. He was so complimentary of the way that they play the game here. And when you go down 24-7 at half-time, there is the temptation, or sometimes the natural reaction, to just disappear out of a game, and Nottingham have done the exact opposite. Again, they pick out Cherry, and again they go to Moore. There's Barrett with his hands on it, and Gilbert takes over. Good maul here, Gilbert's in there, Vaughan adds his weight, Calman comes in. Gators thinks about it, but keeps the place on the short side.
6 is fine.
Now Mortimer gets his hands in to have a look.
Red, let it come, Red 5.
Nottingham a little bit shorter numbers here because so many are committed into that maul. So Barrett goes. He's short. Mortimer. Gators wants it. They're not in a rush here because they're desperate to score. That's a massive hit from Cam Cobbett.
Leave it.
What a tackle from the Hartpury 6. Vaughan again wrestled to the ground. Monstrous defending from the visitors. Across the face, Archie van der Fleer knocks it back. Calnan takes it down. They're in the shadow of the post here, Nottingham. Good defence thus far. Another flat ball to Moyes. He's dragged down. Mortimer. O'Byrne.
No, let him go. Thank you.
Van der Fleer, now Brown. Is there space on the outside here for Nottingham? Another crunching tackle. This defensive set from Hartpury is the stuff that matches are won on. Sensational from the visitors.
Fair play to Hartpury there. That's some seriously gritty defence. Great read on the outside.
Well, there's a few bruised bodies out there. One of them is Cameron Cobbett, who made a couple of immense tackles. He was really dishing it, and I think he's feeling the heat.
think you would be some serious shots coming in.
Now, 68 minutes on the clock. Around about 75, 76. I'm going to be asking you, Abe, for your player of the match today.
Ready, gents, let's go then.
I don't want you to tell me who it is straight away. I want you to tease us. Tell us who's impressed you on both teams.
Water off, please, Hartpury.
I think some of the half front row have been pretty good. Cam Hollenstein, Will Goffey. They've looked really good today. Some good players in the Nottingham ranks as well. I think Cherry's had a really great game.
Yeah, got it.
I think Conor Moyes has had a great game too. Ed Timpson as well.
Got a couple of changes actually. Furley is returning. We're in number 11. And Jamie Annand is coming in as well.
Okay, time's off. No.
So
but
Gatus,
you've got 3 or 4 people behind
back
your line
off.
here, just sorting out who should be there, okay? Happy, sorted. Let's go, gents.
Looks like Fells is back on.
Okay, time is on.
More good line-out ball for Hartpury.
What's forward?
As I say that. Well, they fluffed their lines a couple of times. The line-out was flawless in the first half. Do you know, the momentum of the second half changed when
the man behind you lost it.
Nottingham went down to 14 and then backed off that line-out. Admittedly, Hartpury scored pretty much straight afterwards that Brandon Wood wonder try. But after that, I think Nottingham can be very proud of their response.
It's funny, in a game of rugby, all it takes is 1 or 2 little moments for everyone to pick up. And everyone just to come together and turn it on. And it seems like that's what's happened here in this second half for our boys.
Cherry does well at the back. It's a little juggle from Mortimer, but Nottingham away again, and Furley with that knocks the ball on. And that's a momentum killer because he had Max Brown and Conor Moyes waiting for it.
Tough one for Fells.
Time's off. Gents, time's off, got a replacement.
Joe Winfield coming on. He's had a fresh fade for the cameras and he has got a real top lip slug as well. It is not just University of Nottingham who've embraced the Movember. So we're coming to the end of the month of November. Do you think yours is going to stick around or is it going to bite the dust?
No, absolutely not.
Time's off at the moment, gents. Let's go.
You know, I'm all for the cause.
When you're ready. Let's go.
But
Red, let's go.
It's not the best bit of facial furniture, I'll tell you that.
No, it's. I've got to keep mine until the 3rd of December because I'm hosting a Movember ball for our friends down at Swansea Uni, and that's on the 2nd. And to be honest, I might just get the trimmer out on the drive home. just all in the footwell.
Give it a little trim.
Set!
Here's Owen Randall then putting it in for a dominant Hartpury scrum. They're looking for a penalty. They don't get one, and here's Brandon Wood. Cannons into the backside of Conor Moyes.
Edge of the white, please.
And out for a Hartpury line into the last 10 minutes. As it stands, 5 points for Hartpury. Nottingham empty-handed.
We're desperately looking for another try here, boys. The boys will, at the very least, to be trying to get a bonus point.
Well, another try for Nottingham converted would not only mean a try bonus point, but a losing bonus point too. Another try for Hartpury. And that pretty much puts that losing bonus point possibility to bed. So Hartpury just grinding Nottingham down. They've done so well at it.
Same more.
It is crude but excellent work
it's backwards once,
from the visitors.
Don't change your mind, one. It's a tackle release, get there. He's broken off. Thank you, 3. Hold there, gents. Use
Fred
it.
Maher does well to get out of the way, and Dan Cook
that's fine, Rip.
Continues the attack and then rips. Turnover ball here. Now we could have a foot race. It's an excellent cover tackle. Hartpury won't have been expecting to make.
Yeah, it's red ball. Let it.
And then they've turned it over. Well, it's topsy-turvy stuff in the last 10 minutes. And all the ball that Nottingham have kicked away in this half, I wonder whether or not that one could have gone onto the toe.
Maybe. 50-22 on.
God, it's a handsome dog, isn't it? Whose is that? Do we know?
I've got no idea, no.
I think Dogs of BUCS Super Rugby could be one of my favourite Instagram accounts. If it doesn't already happen, make it happen. 7 minutes to go. Hartpury been under the cosh for a lot of the second half.
2.5.
Oh, well. Confirm.
Use the edge of the white then, please, guys.
Confirm 2.5. Now, is that on the yellow or is that on the game? It's going to be on the yellow, isn't it?
Yellow, yeah.
Yeah, so that adds up. Hartpury's line out
Come on, here we go, Flip.
has absolutely abandoned them.
Just step off for me. Just step off. Thank you. It's not.
Gotta try and get down into their half here and get some points. This is
Green,
do or die stuff now. Looks like Elijah, Gregor and Dan Barwood might be coming on now.
Certainly warming up, aren't they?
Ouch! Binds! Set! Oh, no!
Into the final throws of the game. Hartpury turning the screw, the scrum going backwards, and Hartpury have pinched it against the head. Look at the celebrations. Their scrum has been absolutely sensational, wrecking balls from 1 to 8.
7.5? 6.5. Shot called.
And they will eat up the final minute of the yellow card
by
going for the post. Well, let's have a chat then before we award the man of the match. Both teams. Let's call some names out.
6 and a bit.
Yeah, I think Henry Mortimer's been on fire today as well.
Yeah. Three also on the bin. One on the bin now.
I think Edward Giroux has looked really good for Hartpury. He's been good in defence and has looked quick in attack. So we got.
I'm going to throw a few names out there as well. I think James Cherry has grafted really hard for Nottingham. I've really enjoyed the second rows as well. Before he got yellow carded, I thought Stanton did well, and then Jackman. And the two, LaRue and Dan Cook for Hartpury, have been very, very good in the loose, particularly Cook. So here's Joe Winfield. He's taken on kicking duty since coming on.
Next.
And some changes then for UON. On comes Elijah Hiscock-Smith. Along comes Dan Barwood as the tight head. And that'll be Gregor Watson coming on at scrum half as well. Big shift for the lads who've come off, particularly Fred Maher. I think he's had a lung-busting 75 minutes.
Yeah, definitely. I think Fred he's had a tough day in the scrum, but I think he's really gone for it, and he's shown his worth there. Ed Timpson as well, looking really good. Oh, here we go.
Now Conor Moyes turns it over. There's Hiscock-Smith straight onto the pitch, straight into the action. And here come Nottingham. There's Vaughan. There's the bonus point for Nottingham. Brilliant try from Vaughan. Just reward for the hosts. They won't go home empty-handed. And that shows how important the chase on the restart is. They've done it brilliantly all game, all season, and they've got the try.
He's done that before as Conor Moyes. So there's Cam Furley just running beyond the pod going up. And then it's on, you know. If they miss the ball, as was apparent there, they can get onto it. And there we go, Elijah straight away, first touch on the ball with an impact, and then quick ball from Gregor straight out to Vorney.
It's good
finding
finish.
The gap, good finish, yeah.
So after this conversion, we will have the BUCS Super Rugby man of the match from you, Abe Turner. Here's Max Brown. Well, that was just crept across the face. Doesn't make a huge difference, though, because Nottingham need another 3 points for that losing bonus point. So it wouldn't have made a difference whether or not he made that. It's looking like 5 points in the bag for Hartpury, although stranger things have happened. So I'll wait for the restart. Who is your man of the match today, Abe?
So I'm going to give it to Hartpury's number 15, Brandon Wood. Superb try, brilliant skills, and great turn of speed. Think he's been the pick of the bunch today. Some brilliant performances all round. I think there's been some great players from Nottingham who are still on the pitch now. but I think Brandon Wood's the pick of the bunch. Great stuff from him.
Yeah, I don't think anyone... Oh, it's been picked off. And Nottingham might be saying goodbye to the potential of this losing bonus point. Here's Hollenstein. They've gone up the blind side. That was Hewitt. He's come on. And then Wilf McCarthy, the first half replacement. Randall digs. That's across the face to Perry.
Use it.
Cam Cobbett.
Off feet, let it go, Green.
Now Randall with options. One of them is Ellis Hart, who's back
No,
on.
6.
2 tries for him.
Let it come.
Sniffing around a hat-trick. Remember Goffey with 2 tries as well. Big bump from Cam Hollenstein. And a low shot by Lewis Barrett.
Yeah, it's clear balls there.
26-36. Randall with all the time in the world, but eventually he's swallowed up.
Don't pre-bind, guys, don't pre-bind. Use it!
Into the final minute.
Off feet, Green!
Hartpury looking to finish the job here. Take themselves up over 40.
Yeah, counter-up was good.
A good counter-ruck, but it's
Let
still
it come,
with Hartpury.
Green, let it come, Green, let it go. Thank you, Red.
So Randall,
Yeah, no,
he's got
that's right.
Iestyn Galton waiting, but it looks like he's going to go the other way to Winfield. He's going to look for the drop goal. Drop goal's good. Don't see many of those in BUCS Super Rugby.
Not at all. It's good drills. It's good drills. You know, playing the possession, not really going anywhere. So back into the pocket. Nottingham are going to be looking to try and snatch another losing bonus point here.
Well, if they do manage to pinch this, a converted try will get them a losing bonus point. Is that going to go 10? Yes, but then it's knocked on.
Will, just confirm. Had it gone 10 before you knocked it on? Hadn't gone 10. Okay. Just go back. Thank you.
Oh, had it not?
Hasn't gone 10, apparently.
I thought that... I think he's hard done by there. I do think it's a knock-on, so it's a scrum just 10 metres further up the pitch.
Yeah,
Looked like it went 10. Obviously, I'm biased.
Yeah, we'll be dead by the time the second scrum.
So this will be the final play. Another 5 points for Hartpury as they continue their great run of form. Dan Murphy's team really settling in. Stick with us post-match as well. We'll be getting live reaction. I'll be heading pitch side to try and catch up with some happy coaches.
Steady, Green. Bounce! Bind! Set!
Is there a final flourish for either team? It's been a fascinating game.
Do you want to come just slightly this way so we're not in those divot holes there?
And the pitch has held up pretty well too. It looked like it was going to be soft going, to use Paul's racing term earlier on, but it's some good rugby, given how much rain we've had. Not today, it's been great conditions today, but the handling's been really good.
It's been pretty horrendous conditions over the last week, so I think the ground staff have done a pretty good job to got it into a position to allow for the game to go ahead. Lots of other games being postponed for pitch-related concerns.
This can't go on much longer because it's about to get dark. Brandon Wood, the man of the match, he has seen enough because it is another win on the road for Hartpury. They are undefeated away from the Al Pass Arena. University of Nottingham really hung in there. They managed to get a try bonus at the end, but no losing bonus point, but they do add 1 to their BUCS Super Rugby total. It's another 5 for Hartpury, though, as they start to knock on the door of the top 4 and maybe beyond. They get to sit back and enjoy this evening's games, knowing that their week's work is done. Full-time here at Highfields, Nottingham 26, Hartpury 39. Abe Turner, as president of the club, sure you're disappointed to have a defeat here, but another great example of Wednesday rugby. You can see why people love it so much.
Oh, 100%, you know. Disappointing result, I'm sure, from the lads, but they stuck in there and they put everything out there that they could. But yeah, no, it's you know, great place, great venue. Just brilliant to be in BUCS Super Rugby and soaking up every single moment of it. So great to get some fans down as well. Great to get the boys coming down and watching after their respective games. Good luck to Hartpury for the rest of the season. They look like they've got a pretty strong outfit there, and some really good players that are going to probably put them in good places this season. We're going to keep on fighting. We always do, and hopefully we'll be in the quarters. We'll see.
Have a good night tonight.
Yeah, definitely. Always a good night. Always a good Wednesday night.
Good. That's what I like to see. That's
always.
what I like to hear. So as Hartpury make their way through the tunnel with another 5 points in the bag on the road, let's take a look at some of the tries, and there were plenty of us to pour through. The first one seems like a long time ago now. Nottingham off the top, and the first of Henry Mortimer's absolute seeds to put the boys on the front foot.
Yeah, some serious skill sets on show here, especially from Morts. Just picking the right passes. Did it about 3 times today. Picking the right passes, leading to scores.
Well, this was where Hartpury absolutely dominated the game, and this is where it was probably won. The difference being their set piece really functioned. There were periods of the game where they dominated the scrum, and in the first half they dominated the line out as well. That one was dotted down by Will Goffey, and that levelled the score at 7-7.
Again, probably one for Hartpury in the first half, to be honest. Very, very clinical with their line-out sets. This here, a great move.
Yeah, really nice. That was Edwards Giroux. He was one of the players who you mentioned for his work rate. Iestyn Galton, another one who had a good game. And then Will Goffey. It was a brilliant tackle to stop the try the first time round there. And I think that's something that could be said for Nottingham. Despite the fact they conceded a lot of tries, they defended very bravely for large periods of the game. That was Goffey's second. And Ellis Hart got the third. We initially credited it to Goffey, but he's on his feet celebrating. He got the best view in the house for this one. But when you commit this number of people to a maul, you've got the backs in there, you've got the wingers, you've even got the scrum half adding a bit of weight. You just have to score, don't you?
Yeah, no, exactly. You do. Leaves you absolutely no options out wide. You know, or even just away from the maul itself. You gotta take your points when they're there on offer. Equally, when you commit that many to the defence of it, you've got to do everything you can to make sure that you stop it. Otherwise, it's on out wide. So, yeah, it's a shame, and the lads will be looking to work on some more maul defence over the next week, I'm sure. But I can't fault the effort. You know, the boys absolutely went for it, and
well, that was Ellis Hart's try. That made it 24-7 at half-time. Then came the yellow card. One of Max Brown's maverick kicks didn't quite work out this time because Iestyn Galton steadied the ship. Then a beautiful ball from Williams, and the pick of the bunch from Brandon Wood, the man of the match.
Yeah, just a brilliant finish. Just brilliant all-round. Delicate little nudge, put the perfect amount on it.
And what about this from Connor Moyse? That was Elijah Hiscock-Smith straight onto the pitch and making a real impact.
Yeah, definitely. That's what he's been doing all season for us. Just really dynamic back rower. Carries really hard. It's very dynamic.
And that was a drop goal. Real collector's item there. We don't get them a huge amount, but that just kept the scoreboard ticking over and kept the scoreboard out of sight for Nottingham. And that brought us to 26-39, the full-time score. Plenty of encouraging words in that UON huddle, I've no doubt, but it's no wins in 7 now, but they do keep collecting points. Currently 8th in the league, ahead of Swansea, ahead of Leeds Beckett, with more results to come. Right, I am going to head pitch side now to try and get some post-match reaction. Abe, it's been a pleasure to share this one with you today. Let's take another look at Movember, the great charity that both of these great clubs have really embraced during this November month.
What we want to do is throw out something positive to the younger kids. Don't feel like you've got to be ashamed of anything that's happening at home or in the streets.
Change can come through these programs, and I've seen it change lives.
1, 2, double jab. 1, 2, double jab.
These are socially isolated young men This is a programme about friendship. It's about connecting people. It's about supporting each other through tough times, because that's really what we're here for.
Programs like Photo Voice allow a group of veterans to work together to solve their own problems.
They said that this is the way that we do things in the military. We plan a mission, and then we do that mission together.
Guys can't go up to each other and say, you know what, mate, I'm lonely. You fancy being a mate? Do you fancy going to the pub with me? Guys can't do that. Why? Why can't they do it? Because there's a stigma around it. There's no stigma coming here. Anybody is welcome at Pike.
There are so many guys in Australia that are struggling alone. They're not having conversations, they're not reaching out saying that I need help. This program with Waves of Wellness is about being able to normalise the fact that we all go through really shit times in life, so let's just have a yarn about them. And in the meantime, let's go surfing.
For a population of about 1,000, I would expect 5 young people to die every year from suicide. The best way for us to heal is that we need to heal ourselves. So on the land-based program, the young men and boys, they grew up with a well-known hunter, learn how to live off the land, they learn the culture. These guys are alive.
November Foundation is changing the game for us.
I think the most important thing is actually the hope that this brings.
We're changing lives, we're changing attitudes, we're helping men.
Well, fresh off the back of a massive victory, we have got a man of the match, Brandon. And firstly, huge congratulations. What is it about away days? Because that's 5 out of 5 on the road for you guys now.
We just love away days. We look at things. Yeah, I can't thank the boys anymore. Put a good effort in as well. Yeah, hopefully we can keep the momentum going now. So we'll see what happens.
Talk to us about the game today then, because looking at you, it's a proper rugby match, dirty knees, dirty kits.
Yeah.
You really had to put it in for 80 minutes today, didn't you?
Yeah, we did, especially the first half. I thought we controlled it very well. We played to our game plan, kept getting back and forth, went very well first half. Second half, we started well, and then we kind of lost momentum. But then in the end, boys finally pushed through and got the win, and 5 points was needed.
Well, the second half was where you had a real eye-catcher, and in fact, it was just by here, wasn't it? Yeah. Lovely chip and chase.
Thank you.
Looked fantastic, great try. What did it feel like to score and really put the game to bed?
I mean, I just thought, just go for it, see what happens, and it just came off. So, yeah, I'm happy to get the bonus point at the end of the day. That's what we came up here for, so happy days.
Are you encouraged to do that as a group then? Play what you see?
Yeah, that's what we have the freedom to do that. Obviously, we've got our own structure to play with, but when you've got one-on-ones or something, just back yourself and hopefully it comes off.
What about this group then? Because you say you mentioned away days, you like away days.
Yeah.
You can't like away days unless you love the boys that you're playing with. So talk to us about this group and what you're building towards.
This year, I think the group of the boys is so much closer than it was last year. And I mean, we're always training together up early in the morning. We always have a laugh, we have a coffee, we play cards. So I mean, the group is very tight at the moment. So hopefully it'll stay like that now all the way through.
Who wins the cards?
Me.
Oh yeah,
me.
Thought you
I always do.
Don't gamble with this point.
No, don't.
Talk to us about Nottingham then, because you've taken 5 points, but they didn't give up, and they've got a lot to offer this league, haven't they?
Yeah, they're the unknown when they first came up, and the freedom they had to play in the second half, we just didn't expect it. And I mean, we didn't. I think the last 20 minutes we couldn't deal with it, and then finally, once we got the pressure off, we were fine. So, but fair play to Nottingham, they were very good.
Exeter next week?
Yeah, tough one, but hopefully we can keep the momentum going, like I said.
Just play away every week, that's the key,
yeah,
isn't it?
If we could, we would.
So, congratulations today. I'll take that off you, and I will let you go and get clean. That is your man of the match. Let's see if we can find a coach. I would go and walk and look for him, but we've got a light set up there. Dan Murphy. I'm trying to catch his eye, because he's a great talker. We love to hear from him, even though he hasn't shared it. Come on, come with me. If it's dark, it's dark. But that is a reminder of the massive games and, of course, the massive live streams we've still got to come. The next one in my diary is mid-December. We're going to Cardiff for the Cardiff Clash. That's a sellout at the Arms Park. But I'm going to give you this. We've already talked to your man of the match, Brandon, but it could have been one of any number of your boys today. They really put on a good show, didn't they?
Yeah, we spoke about a lot of set piece pressure this week, and I thought the scrum went really well. Big Cam Hollenstein, the Water Tower, D'Oliveira, and the Muffin Man in the middle, Will Goffey. They went very well, those three, and it was good to see that, and it turned the momentum back in our favour in those last 10 minutes, which is good.
Well, let's talk about the game in patches then, because Nottingham started well. They scored that lovely try, but the response from your boys after that, I don't think you can ask for much more as a coach.
No, it was tough to see. They got into our 22 and scored very easily. And like I said before the game, they score tries. This Nottingham side, they do score. But the way we reacted and put pressure on pressure and points on points was really good to see. And at half-time, that was the challenge, to replicate that. Last week, we did it well for 40 minutes, and then Loughborough came back in the first 10 minutes after half-time. So that was our challenge this week. And I feel they did that, but there's two sides to every game, isn't there? The other team are trying to get the momentum back as well. And fair play to Nottingham. They throw the ball about, they play, they want to score. They picked up a bonus point today and nearly pushed us right at the end.
They did score some lovely tries, didn't they?
Yeah, they do. A little too easily for my liking, but we'll do some work on that during the week, I'm sure.
I love that. Another 5 points on the road, and you're already thinking about things you're upset about and things you're going to work on with the week. But is that all the key to what you're trying to build here? We spoke to Brandon. He talks about how tight the group are, how they're really playing for each other, how it feels like they're getting closer and closer. But, you know, they still need to be held to account sometimes, don't they?
Yeah, definitely. And like I said before the game, they're driving that. Like, at the moment, they love to be on the road, and a bus trip, cards on the bus, bit of crack, bit of music. They really enjoy it and thrive on it, and they're bringing that. And then it's down to the coaches, Luke Eves, Chris Forty, myself, just to put those X's and O's in place and hold them to accountable for it.
Talking about the music, do you know any of the tunes? Or?
There's a bit of Sweet Home Alabama every now and again.
As there should be. Right, you were critical of the way you conceded tries. What about the way you didn't concede tries? Because that's another week without a driving maul try conceded.
Yeah, we do a lot of work on it. We maul Friday, we maul Monday, and we maul Tuesday, and we defend mauls every day as well. It's a big part of the game in the world at the moment, and you hold teams out of that. You put yourself in a chance of being in a game. It worked for us.
Well, another 5 points. You're knocking on the door of the top four. You've got Exeter next week, who've had a crunching win against Bath today. A bonus point. There are a lot of good teams playing a lot of good rugby in this league.
Yeah, and hey, we talk about this league all the time. Every time we meet, it's amazing. It's a class league, and you've got to be on it every week to be in with a shout, to be in that top four, and that's what we want.
A couple of final thoughts from you then. Firstly, on Nottingham, because that is, what, six games without a victory for them now, but there were times where they pushed you. They've got a try bonus. They are a real asset to this league, and it's great to have them here, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. They're scoring tries. That's what we like about this league. Ball gets thrown around. There's tries every week. That's what we want to see, and they're just adding to that. It's really good.
And then your team, tight group, winning games. That's 4 out of 6 with a draw now and just 1 defeat. Is confidence growing, or are you never going to tell me the truth about that?
Confidence is growing slowly, but it's all about momentum. This league, it's all about momentum. And going into Christmas, I said it before, we want that. We're back to the start again now. We got Exeter and Durham, and we started hard and fast, and that's what we've got to do again. We've got to sort of reset. Now it's the business end of the season. Let's get back into it.
Massive games. Looking forward to seeing how you go. Great to see you. Congratulations today. I will take that, and we will bid you adieu. It is another victory for Hartpury. It is another defeat for Nottingham, but as always, that does not tell the entire story. Another great Wednesday afternoon. As the light comes down, still 3 massive games of BUCS Super Rugby. Stay across BSR socials to find out all the latest scores, all of the latest stories, and of course, join us whenever we are putting a live stream game on. The story here, Hartpury with another 5 points. Their quest for BSR title number 4 is well and truly underway, but Nottingham might have their part to play as well. Have a great week. We'll see you next Wednesday.